Welcome, sketchbook heroes and sketchbook warriors. We have quite a few challenges today, as well as other challenges. We've got, let's see, let's just jump right in, share my screen here. Oh, there we go. Let's see. We have some requests. There they are. Groundhog Day, we're in February. I'm sure we're probably going to get hearts coming up soon. So we did put these in order. We're going to start off with simple drawings. This is probably the simplest right here. We're going to start off with this, and then we're going to go into these drawings here. Really simple circle shapes. And people have been asking about proportions. Proportions, you got to see the shapes, try to see the parts. And when it comes to proportions, you got to see how those parts and shapes relate to each other, and how that's where things, you don't want to, sometimes maybe you do want to blow things out of proportion, but you have to understand proportion and look for it. So we might get to this drawing. And we do have some groundhogs. We'll have to, we can probably do this one pretty quickly. Doesn't have to be that accurate. And then this one's a little bit more solid as far as a drawing. And then we've got other ones. We've got quite a few, so we'll have to play around with which ones we're going to do. I like that. Here we go. We got some rain theme stuff that was also posted. Here we go. That's a cute one. And so we'll see drawing water. This is definitely, somebody asked about shading, and we can probably we can talk a little bit about that. That would help. Everything adds. That's really nice. Talk about shading. The only problem is this takes a while. This would take a while. So, we got to find where your balance is at. I just mentioned the 3 F's. You have to have it fun, and then you also have to get into the flow, which is kind of in the middle of fun and frustration. That's the 3rd F, because you want to feel a little bit of frustration sometimes, because then it shows that you're stretching. You're like, oh, you're hitting these points, and then you get it, and it feels really good, and you're like, okay, you're in the flow, and it's fun. It's fun. You kind of have to be in all 3 a little bit, but it's best to kind of just be in the flow and enjoy the process, because that's what it's about. It's about the process. It's how do we do this? How would we recreate this? So I'll talk about how to recreate these. We'll probably recreate some of these. This one's probably a bit much. I think I can already see by the time we get to there. Some people are asking for landscapes, but I think this is the travels with Eladio, Camino de Santiago. I've talked about going to Spain, and I think I did put this is another one. And this is Ellen putting up these beautiful pictures of Spain. It's inspiring and actually makes me want to go this year, but I feel like might have to put it off. I put a little LOL, maybe fall 2024. I'm thinking about this fall, or if it doesn't happen this fall, maybe next fall, but I'll find out in the next couple months. I am going to Washington, D.C. That has been, plane tickets have been bought, and that's actually exciting. What other trips? Oh, and oh yeah, I just got back from Pismo. I had a little accident. I was out in Pismo Beach. That was fun last weekend. And what else is coming up? Oh yeah, I'll be going to Baja, I think near Rosarito in 2 weeks. So fun. Anyways, let's get going. All right, so we'll start off with this drawing here. Very simple, but it does help. You got to see where you're at. If this is where you're at, this is where you're at. That's fine, but you're still dealing with all the basic stuff. But if it's off, nobody can tell. Like, it's not like drawing a face. When you're drawing a face and it's off, you can tell. It's like, hey, who's that? It doesn't matter, but you still want to kind of like just practice and be aware. And here you can see a circle there, right? It's a little bit more of an oval, I would say. But even a circle fits. Look at that. That's a little bit more of an oval shape. And then what's the proportion? Look at this one. This one's a little bit smaller, and it's a little, definitely, this one's definitely more of an oval shape, as obvious as that is. And you want to look at the relationship of these two, so you can see how big this one is compared to that one, right? It's bigger than half the size. Right. Another way to see relationships is to see these as connected. So let's see. Let's do this. See here. Draw a line from there to there. You can see how this becomes a bigger shape, and how it connects to this shape here, right there. And this is pretty straight up. The angles. We call it wrap to draw here. Ratios, angles, proportions, and practice. And why don't we jump to that? As just because we have newbies here. Let's see. Let me jump to this real quick, even though our drawings here. If you go to sketchbookhero.com, same thing as back here, sketchbookhero.com, not warrior, actually sketchbookwarrior.com will take you to our Zoom. That's our shortcut. Sketchbookhero.com. There it is. This is our website, and it has some of the videos. You can actually get to the YouTube video there. YouTube videos, and then subscribe and ring the bell. I think I've been promoting this off and on for the last couple months, even though we've been doing this for 2 years. But here is the curriculum that I'm going to be putting up videos eventually soon, very soon. So this is it, wrap to draw. I call it ratios, angles, proportions, and placement. And there'll be videos on each of these numbers. So we start off, the biggest challenge is usually you having a purpose and believing in yourself. Yes, you can learn to draw. There's going to be times it's going to be frustrating, and you learn anything, any skill. It is not easy at first, and then you learn and it's like, oh, wow, why was that hard? You kind of look back at it and sometimes you take it for granted. You tie your shoes or you're walking, but you don't remember learning the first time to walk and stumbling and falling and do that. But you definitely have to have that mindset and in the long game and making it a habit, making it part of your identity. I'm a sketcher. I just sketch, and then I draw. Okay. And asking questions, being curious, there'll be videos and all this stuff. But definitely to help your purpose, which is hopefully to capture ideas and really definitely entering the age of ideas and leaving the age of information, information highway. All right, we're going into a new age here of ideas and imagination. All right, there we go. So we'll start off with this drawing, very simple, and then I think this other one. Yeah, that one. This one's just circles. We'll just jump straight into this one. I'll put them in the chat. So if you want to draw them, you can draw these characters. We should break these apart though. And because the other one was pretty simple. This one, we'll jump into this one. Let me break this apart while we're here. Clear all drawings. There we go. And you can see the shapes of the heads. The heads are pretty. The basic shape is a circle and a square. Those are the ones you want to look for first. Circles and squares. If you're totally new here. And I usually try to see the biggest shape first, which is, let's see, I just had a circle, but is the ratio. We call it wrap to draw. We're looking at the ratio. So if you look at the ratio here, you can see that that ratio, and that's the width compared to the height. I can make a perfect square. And there's a perfect square right there. And you can see that the bottom half is a little bit smaller than the top half. And then here, same thing here. If I go up here, there's a perfect square. And you can see the bottom half right in there and how it fits, right? So we're looking at the biggest shapes first and see the relationships and seeing that. And that way we can get it to fit on our paper and it makes sense, okay? And then another thing we do too is see from there, even break it down even further. So we can break this into halves. And you can see the halves of the proportions and how it all fits. Biggest thing is really seeing space. Let's use some circles here first. And let's see, there we go. Purple on purple, really nice. Very little contrast. That's contrast. You want to see a difference. So I don't know, maybe not the greatest of colors, but it shows up. All right, there's our circle. You can see that circle right in there. And you see it's pushed down a little bit and it's squeezed over here and there's this little part, but we can see the halfway point. Let's put those in there. Here, halfway. You can see the eyes on this half. You can see them angled as well. Notice that they're angled. One's a little bit higher, one's a little bit lower. And the placement, if we cut this circle in half, you can see that this eye is really close to that side and this side of that. If we cut this in half again, this fourth, so you can see that's where that hair is in that fourth area, and this in half again, somewhere around there. That's where that other eye is. That kind of helps. All right, same thing with this one. Let's do this one, and then we'll get started. All right, this is just to help you see the shapes and help you see what I see. Oh, what we can do is actually I can put this
Here's
in
your paper tail.
chat. Oh yes, the tapered tail. There it is. We've been talking about that tapered tail. It's that shape. It's a really nice shape. I don't know. I really like the way it flows, and it's a shape. And it's when you're drawing that shape, you have to look at both sides. You draw one line and then drawing the second line to create a shape. A lot of times we just focus too much on line. All right, you can see here, if we break this in half, you can see that the eyes are in this half. If we break this in half again, you can see this is almost like it's drawing itself already. There's a slight on this side with a slight angle, and then here, this angle here with a slight curve, and then the circle on top of that in that quadrant up there, this angle here, and that shape. All right, let's just jump into this. All right, thank you for joining us.
The body is kind of like a teardrop.
Yes, the body's kind of like a teardrop. See that? All right, and I didn't screenshot it, and I just lost everything. So I will actually, let me see. I will put the let me see. Let's go back and we start off with the snakes. The snake. It's just one snake. Copy the image address, and we'll put it in the chat. All right, here we go. Let's see. Oh, somebody just put a message to me specifically. So I don't know. Let me see. Who was that? Oh, brand new. Okay. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody saying that they were brand new. All right, here we go. Let's get started. All right, so all you need is a pencil and a paper. If you have a sketchbook, great. When I'm actually, once I really start putting the videos together, this is supposed to be the quickest way to learn to draw. It really is. Yeah, you'll have to do the lessons and go through it really quickly, and really know what to focus on. All right, so it's really 3 circles. So we're gonna go with 3 circles, 3 ovals. Our first oval there, and I scribble it in. And I usually draw lightly. Am I upside down? No, let me see. There you go. Yeah. All right, let's zoom out a little bit right there. Okay, so let me highlight myself. There's our first oval. And then let's see. Hold on one second. Now, here we go. There we go. That's it. You're messing with 2 screens. Sometimes I get into this little twilight zone. I went to full screen there, trying not to get that out. Oh, there it goes. Nope, it didn't. Why did it go full screen? Escape. Oh, there it is. That worked. Okay, sorry about that. All right, here we go. So we've got our first oval, and we've got the tail over here. So that's actually, we got to see that it's kind of split in half here. Everything's kind of split in half. We're going to have the tail, and then the other part. Here we go. So this is a pretty simple one. If you're out of proportion, or if it's not quite right, that's okay, because nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. So you just got to watch the spacing, that the empty space as well, how far it is from each other. There is like another oval. We're going to start off with that, the back part. Sometimes I try to see the big shape, but this time I'm just going this one specific shape and going from here and then building up. I just know that I have enough space to the right to do this. Okay, and what's really cool about this is the way it tapers as well. This one tapers, so it gets wider as it goes up, and then it gets thinner again. So it gets thinner. So this shape is thin here. It goes a little bit wider, and then it goes back thin. So that shape, it's not parallel, perfectly parallel, not perfectly parallel. I love. I don't know why the P's keep coming up. Perfectly parallel. Practice patience and persistence, and all right, so that's my promise to get better and to progress in the process, because perfect what is it, proper practice prevents poor performance. Ooh, try to say that. Proper practice prevents poor performance. And here we are practicing. We do have the lessons. We have the lessons are all there. Sometimes I skip stuff, and sometimes you need to focus on a certain lesson. but we're here. It's really just about practice. I can see how big the tail is compared to that first oval. And I know the next one, I can see the angle. See, I can see the angle and kind of triangulate to get to the next oval that's going to be right about here. I see the space actually pretty close here. This is probably a little bit closer in there. And there's a lot of details with water and stuff, but I want to try to not see that small stuff. See the big stuff first. There's and this one was a little bit more rounded. It's not as oval as that one was. And if you get it, great. And if you don't, it's okay. Because actually this one doesn't really flow that well, the actual drawing. It kind of looks like it's squeezed and stuff. But if you wanted to be consistent with the drawing, just getting it a little bit thinner, a little bit wider up on the top, kind of looks pretty good right in there. And then we got the head that comes up here. And we did see that even with this angle here, this angle here, this is horizontal. And then just seeing the head that comes out up here and above it. And I did see that this was kind of like the head kind of coming up there. There is a little bit of a bump. I can zoom in on this. A little bit of a bump on the head here as it comes in. And it's almost like a duck head. Not so much. It does go rounder, so it's not so much pointed, but it does have that kind of like almost a beak to it. A bill. Like the duck. I don't know how the joke goes, but a duck goes into a bar and he goes, "Hey, what are you how are you going to pay for this?" "Oh, put it on my bill," or something like that. I don't know. So, I just got a flashback of an old joke. All right, here we go. Now, where does the eye go? Okay, so I can see kind of that, and I can see the eye kind of like right about in there. If I follow this line up, it's right about here, right about there. That's where the eye is on the top half, right about there. Very simple eye. There we go. Now we can just now I have my foundation, and I can draw everything else around it. I can draw it darker and actually do a drawing. Here, see, right there, almost like I'm tracing, because I have all my sketch underneath, and then I can get all the water. And we might be doing water later. We did somebody well, Ellen submitted water pictures, so we'll be doing a little bit of water, some shading later on. But this is the structure. This is just shapes. You want to be looking for shapes. You even want to just spend a day looking for shapes, looking for circles one day. Okay, where's all the circles? And drawing circles and seeing those circles around you. Like even here, this is a circle, but it's an oval shape. The water waves here are like circles, and drawing them and seeing them and just looking for shapes. And then the next level would be forms, and circles become spheres. And seeing even these little waves are just little parts of circles. I can draw 3 little circles there, see, right in there. And that's what that is. And just drawing for fun. Sometimes it'll get frustrating. Sometimes you'll be in the flow. You'll lose track of time. And that's a good thing, because then you're like right in that spot, that sweet spot. You're in flow. You're in the zone, the twilight zone. Adding these little, there we go. And there's some drops up here. Like a little drop up on this side. A little Loch Ness, Katniss. There we go. And there he is, our little Loch Ness monster, out of the way and drawn. There we go. Ooh, this is somebody talking about perspective, angles, ratios, angles, proportions. And this is another drawing from a different day. All right, here we go. Let's go to the little girls. Did I put it? Yeah, let's put that in the chat. So we're going to draw that. Feel free to take your time, add more snakes, play with it. You know, I go kind of slow, kind of fast. I don't know. I try to pace myself and then pick up the pace. Copy image address. Let's go to the next one. Here we go. And, you know, feel free to leave at any time. We're just here to draw and here to practice. And you can draw anything. You don't have to even be drawing what we're drawing. The thing is to make practice a habit. You got to make it a habit and look for stuff. So here's the head. We're going to draw the head first. I'm starting off with my circle. Really close to an oval here. There it is. There's the head. And then we've got the hair that kind of comes down. And then we've got the body that kind of comes out the middle of it. The body is a little bit smaller than the head. So if we do take somebody who's really worried about, concerned, and this is good to think about proportions, and seeing how big the head is compared to the body. And this is actually, I don't know, from where the head is pretty close to the size of the body at the bottom. So we're going to take the size of the head, and a circle is a circle everywhere, no matter what size. I can do this drawing again, smaller, and it'll still be the same proportions. Same head, you bring that down, and that's where the bottom of the feet are going to be. So here's my head up here, and we're going to draw that. I'm going to draw it twice. I usually don't do this, but this is good because then you can see me doing it 2 times. So we're going to have a small one and a bigger one here. All right, so this character, there's our circle, our hair. Well, actually, let's break it into fourths like I did earlier. Into fourths. And I would draw this lighter usually. You don't have to draw it, but it kind of helps when you're first learning to see this proportion. These are kind of like the training wheels. You draw this stuff out, and then afterwards you don't draw it because you can already see that, oh, this is above, this is below, this is the hair kind of comes from this corner right there, from this third or fourth, and it kind of comes in and kind of comes down, and here's that tapered tail, like right in there. See, you can see how it goes from this point across over right to the center of that line, and then it kind of comes down, and a little bit of bounce. There's a little bit of tail kind of happening, and there's that tapered tail. Copyright 2022. We came up with that term last year sometime. Yeah, because it tapers, and then it's a little bit of a tail, kind of like, you'll see this. I mean, you'll see it here and there. We have been seeing it. All right, so I'm going to actually lift this side up on this side for where the hair is. And this is the side of the head. The side of the head actually gets also pulled up a little bit. It's not exactly pulled there. So there's a little bit of pull up as it comes down this way. So it's not a perfect circle. I did use a circle to start, but the cheek does pull up a little bit. If you can get it, great. If not, if you see it, that's great. If not, it's okay. It's not a big deal. It's not about perfection. It's about the process. It's about progress. It's about doing the best you can. And the more you practice, the more you'll progress. It's not about perfection. It's not. People sometimes can get hung up and get stuck. You can get stuck. Don't get stuck. All right, so there's my hair. You can see it kind of coming in there. Bam, look at that. All righty. Let's see. Then we got the body. Body's gonna be here. Again, it's kind of like a teardrop, yeah, a drop shape. And I come in here, kind of see that there. And then like little sticky legs coming out. They're just kind of flowing out. So I'm kind of like putting it in. I'm kind of sketching it in lightly. Arms kind of coming out, and I can almost put them in as lines. A little higher. Let's see. Ooh, dear newbies, when you click on, oh, thank you, Ellen. Awesome. I click on attending on the meetup page, pop-up ask what your interests are. And that is what it was reading. Yeah, there you go. Could you paste the Sea Monster link? Oh, I only arrived at 7 and missed the link. All right, cool. Let's go back and put the monster link. Copy image address, and there it is. Bam. Whoa, I'm gonna put that on silent. And let's go back to the little, we don't have 2 screens today. Sorry. I didn't set it up. It is a little cumbersome. We're still trying to figure that out. I was at Best Buy and I was this close to looking at a camera, if they had cameras, to get a new camera, top-down camera, so we wouldn't have to be switching back and forth. But definitely still working. I know that's on my mind. See, we're trying to, it's not about perfection, it's about progress, and every little step, every 1%, you just try to make it 1% better each time. 1%. After 100 times, you're 100% better. You should always be kind of like, and then looking at improving. Let's take a quick break. Let's see who's bugging us. They're blowing up my phone. It's oh, no online. All right. Somebody wanted to talk right now. Somebody was trying to get, I was helping somebody with their resume. All right, Chat GPT, if you haven't tried it, OMG, Chat GPT. It's AI stuff. And that's what we're working on. Really trying to actually help you with that. All right. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for the compliment. All right, so here we go. We've got these 2 eyes that are going to fit in this top half, right? See how we cut this in half, and this top half, and they fit in here. And there's a slight angle to them, and I can see this angle. See this angle, and I can see how they fit. And then I can already go ahead and put one eye right in there, and it has a little bit of a highlight. So I just kind of keep that circle in the middle. Then I go over here to this other side, just on this other side of this quarter, and right there, and there's the other eye. Bam. Windows to the soul right there. And once you have your eyes, I always say, once you have your eyes and they look good, everything else just falls in place. Now the nose is a little bit to the left of that. The nose is a little bit to the left, right in here, and it's a little blurry. But I kind of see it like this. It's just a simple thing. I don't know why it keeps copying files during this time all day long. It doesn't do this, my computer, and it decides to needs a little bit of vitamin A, a little bit of attention. All right, so the mouth is up in this area as well, below the half, just slightly below the nose. And one thing I do is I kind of see this, not even before I draw, I see this as a triangle here. You can see all this, and I can see how far this mouth is going to be. She does kind of have a little worried look on her. I don't know what it is. And she's like about to say something. And story is so awesome. Oh my gosh, we're really entering the age of imagination and storytelling, and like what's going on with her? What is she feeling, thinking, saying, about to say? You know, this is what drawing is, you know, telling stories, taking it back to caveman days, taking it back. We're taking it back to our humanity, our campfire, our to what we are, and get out of these I don't know, my own little opinion of the system. The system, you know, system's changing. Here we go. No philosophy. Let's zoom out a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna actually, that's not too bad, not too shabby. She does have little rosy cheeks. You can actually slightly good practice shading. I would need to work my pencil down, so I can do that here. And I have my pencil. I'm holding my pencil down like this. I'm not holding it like I would with writing. Kind of holding it down. I work down an edge, and it's an HB. It doesn't matter. You can actually even use a pen. And I work down at my edge. Once I work a nice even edge by pushing it, then I can, helps make us, the shading a little bit easier. Little circles, a little bit of blush. She's probably a little flustered. There you go, just a little bit of. If you have colored pencils, great. And this is good practice with shading, controlling your pencil control. There you go. There we go. That's it. We got some cheeks on her. All right, let's get
Eladio, I think there's actually some white around the eye, or am I seeing things?
around the eye, like
Yeah, like
top part up here.
around her eye. It looks like there might be, not just the black dot,
Hmm.
but around. Do you see it?
Yeah, I don't know. Might be artifact from the picture's not a clear picture, so it might be a little bit of an artifact. I don't know. I have a big screen, so I can kind of see pretty clearly. It's not. And yeah, if you get, I mean, I don't go too much into detail, especially with beginning, because you can see. I mean, as the more you practice, you want to draw what you see and get in there. I'm not going to go too much into a lot of the detail, because it does, like here, the line does actually thicker. The line actually gets thicker in here. This is actually something you do want to do with the hair is get this line thicker. Yeah, feel free to make it your own. You see stuff, put it down, record what you see, not what you think you see, not what I tell you I see. You want to definitely do your own observation. This is an observational drawing. Then you want to actually create your own kind of drawing, create your own characters. Let's see, we're getting some feedback. There we go. Boom. A little bit of shading on the hair too. Just really quickly. Actually, I usually, this is all the icing on the cake. We're already putting the icing on the cake. You see, that gets rid of the shading there, the sketching. I'm not going to do it to the face. I'd probably have to use an eraser to clean that up. All right, let's get to the body. We're done with this character. All right, yeah, these little kids, they look a little sad. I don't know if it's me. All right, so I can see that arms are kind of attached, but I want to get the body in there first. This kind of like, it is kind of like a teardrop shape. You kind of have to see how it curves out, and then it curves in, it curves out, and then in, and it goes into like a pant leg or something, and then a little loop, a little bit more down, and then there we go. Right there. I think that's it. So it curves out, down, out, down, up, over. This is where a marker actually, if you finalize it with markers and other stuff. But this is the foundation. This is the foundation of the drawing. Well, you would do this first, and then do the coloring and stuff on top. There we go. And just draw for fun. It's best to draw what you oh, I heard it earlier too. What interests you, what motivates you. Because sometimes when you have a little bit of a hard spot, that little frustration, it kind of gets you through. It's the why that gets you through the how and the what. There is a little bit of a shoulder. I'm putting a little bit of a curve on that, but these lines are pretty close to being parallel. There's a little bit of, and there's a muscle there. It's the deltoid. Too much. And the hand is almost just closed off like that, right in there. And then the hair kind of comes in at an angle and up right in there. Let me zoom in so you can see that. There we go. This hair, and then it goes behind, and I can continue my shading. Here we go. Let's do this other arm. It does go underneath. Can't really even see the fingers. There's a little bit of fingers in there, but it's all good. And voila, probably a little bit darker because it's behind.
Claudia, why are you going to Washington, D.C.?
Oh, to see DC, to see the capital, DC. It's just going for the fun of it. I'm just going for I'm going to see the monuments, going to see the museums, and yeah, just make a week out of it. Yeah, I've been wanting to. No, I just want to go places, and you know. So yeah, no conference or anything like that. I used to go to conferences and stuff like that, but now it's just for fun. So I'd never been. I had never been to Pismo either, so I was like, "Hey, well, let's go," and we just got up and went. Got up and went. So yeah, it was fun. Other than my little, it's yeah, definitely memorable. A little bump on my nose. All right, she's got stripes and a belt. I already put the belt in. I'm gonna put the stripes right in here, and then just shade them as I'm putting them in as well. One there and one over here. And this really interesting seeing that shape and kind of how the side kind of pulls, and this one pulls in a little bit lower. And you start seeing how shapes are constructed, and you know, this is like a drop of water, and how it's pushed and pulled. Toolkit. Your files are backed up. Thank you. You've been telling me. You tell me every time at this hour. These legs are not proportioned, so I'm gonna try to make them a little more consistent. One's a little bit thicker, one's a little bit thinner, and I can see that, and that's okay. I'm gonna make mine more consistent though. I'm just gonna put that kind of like that. That's the the shape of them, and then we've got kind of like a sock or something. It goes out a little bit bigger, and then the shoe. I'm gonna put a little bit of a kind of like an oval shape there, almost like a boot, I guess. Well, yeah, I like that, the way that feels. That's a little more solid than what's in the drawing. And then I can shade it in. And it's really just like a little bit of an oval. Yeah, there we go. It's like an oval. I do have it zoomed in. That's good. We'll do the same thing for the other side. It's a little bit of that an oval shape right in there as it wraps around the foot. And then I'll have that other oval for the toe on this side. There we go. You got fingertips, but you don't have toe tips. You can, I don't know, there was somebody, I was watching one of those videos. They were talking about the English language. And so there we go. There it is. So there's that foot. It's a little more solid than what they have. Right? So you can see that. Pa-dam. All right, I'm going to do the other one. I'm going to do the other little girl. I'm going to do her a little bit faster. See if you can oh, I didn't do this one. Well, let's see this one, this little girl. We did cut her into fourths. Bam, 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 bam. Did do the hair. Bam. One eye, another eye. I missed the highlights. That's okay at that size. The nose, the mouth, right about there. Oh, a really quick recap. Yeah, feel free to draw more than one. If I'm going too slow, if I'm going too fast, well, I'm sorry. Do what you can and then come back to it. We do put the videos up. I try to put them up the next day. Sometimes I'm still behind on some other ones, but let's see. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going downtown. Yeah, it's another little getaway trip. Actually, I'm taking somebody downtown. All right, my proportions are not. Yeah, I know the body's a little bit smaller. See, there we go. Changing the proportions. The feet should be down to here. See, sometimes in the haste makes waste. There we go. And this also goes into how artists create space. I'm actually using what I call space pods, placement, things that are higher up or further back. That's P, placement. Then you have O overlapping. We really don't have any overlapping. I would have to put something behind with overlapping. There's like, I mean, this arm is overlapping. This arm here is overlapping her hair. There's no real overlapping with these two characters. O overlapping. And then you have D is in detail, less detail as it goes back. And then also S, size. That's it, size. This one's smaller and it's further back. Bam, there it is. All right, let's draw this next one a lot faster too. So here we go. Here's our a little bit of an oval, almost a circle. So a little bit more of an oval shape, almost a circle. That looks good. That'll fit right there. And I know the body's going to be right underneath. Let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. The body's going to be underneath. It's a little bit less than the head. So if I were to bring that the head size height down, it would come down to here. The body is a little bit less than that. You get that feel of the body. This angle here, really this angle. Well, let's do what we did earlier. Break this into fourths. Use the fourths. There we go. There we go. Seeing how everything fits, seeing how the proportions and all this stuff. You get another little busy night with text in here. Let's see. Ooh, which class go? Let's see. Here we go. Oops. All right, here we go. Okay, so I believe this did come forward slightly and a little bit higher from this fourths, and there's a slight angle to it, but it's really close to being, and it's definitely thicker. Right in that line is thicker as it comes down, and it does come out a little bit more than the head would as it comes up and around that space. And I know, ooh, that circle overlapping right in here in this area, that fourth is that little bun. It sticks out right there just a little bit. So you can see how it relates to the big shape and how it fits, especially when you break it into fourths. You can see how it kind of like, it's like right in there and how it attaches itself to it. And every time I see a circle or an oval, I think of it as a clock. 12 o'clock at the top, 3 in the side, 6 at the bottom. This is like right there. Does drop down. Does come up over. All right, these little girls are so serious. All right, Groundhog's Day, and actually they're celebrating what, 30 years since that movie came out. I haven't seen it. We're going to make it a point to see it sometime this weekend, maybe, probably Groundhog Day. So yeah, the groundhog did see its shadow, which means another 6 weeks of winter. Yeah. I like the cooler weather, but yeah, actually I like it between actually I like it in the 70s. That's where I like it, right in the 70s. 75, it could be 72, 70, 75. That'd be great. Anything in the 80s is I can tolerate. 90s, no, that's a little much. A little much in the 90s. All right, here we go. The head kind of just comes out in here, and it's a little bit higher up than the hair. The hair is a little bit lower. So kind of, I know where I'm going right here, and how it fits right in there. Bam. I'm trying to get a nice long even stroke. Try not to get a furry face. I know when you're sketching, sometimes you do have to practice these long strokes, so you're not putting, just a nice strokes. All right, let's get these eyes in here. One is slightly higher as well, just slightly, and it does help make that form, because this is form. This is not just a circle or an oval. It's really like a sphere, a ball. So just by putting one up a little bit higher and one a little bit lower, it makes that. So it is right on that middle line. Actually, probably just a little bit lower. And then right there, I think that would be good. I see that right there, really close to the edge. One eye. And this one doesn't have any highlights. It's solid eyes. It looks like it almost has a pointy nose. I don't know. It looks like it's, I'm going to make it like this, a little more like a Charlie Brown kind of nose. And then it's like a, oh, what do you see, Sally? I don't know. She's also got rosy cheeks, like something like, oh my gosh. So let's work down my pencil again. Shade that hair. And just, you know, as my lead kind of wears down, it gets nice and flattens out like this with this darker shading over here. I can then use that same, and then, yeah, see, it's a little bit easier to just put a little bit of a blush, the blush, looking down. All right, there's the hardest parts, the heads. Heads are done. And the hair's a little bit attached. There's a thicker line as it goes around the top. Right in here, it does go all the way around, but it does have a thicker and like a attached line. The quality of line is good to see, and try to capture it as well. With beginners, students always would just do one line. You got to see, sometimes you got to see that quality of that line, how thick it is. And there we go. There it is. Bam. And this does have a little bit of a highlight on it. Actually, giving that rounded shape. This would be good practice to get in that shape of a sphere. It's not more than just a circle or an oval. It's a sphere. It's rounded. The way it's shaded gives you that rounded feel. That's the next level. From shapes, we go to form. Yeah, form. Seeing form, drawing form. All right, let's get that body on there. Ah, you are great. Oh, it's hilarious movie. Oh, yeah, 60F for me. 60F. What's that? 60F. I haven't seen it, so I don't know if you're referring.
Fahrenheit.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. 60, I like 60.
Temperate.
Yeah, yes. Yes, I was mentioning temperature earlier. Yeah, 60. Yeah, 60 is good. I like 60. But definitely once we get into the 50s or 40s, yeah, it's a little.
Did you have to see that movie, Bill Murray, Andy McDowell? It's truly hilarious.
Yeah, no, definitely it's on my list. It's on my list. I go to Soap Today to watch all those movies. And we'll see. I'm sure it'll be out. All right, so I'm looking at the ratios, the thickness here. I'm really seeing this as a big shape here. This shape, it kind of looks like a pipe or something. C'est une pipe. What is it? There's a famous painting. It's not a pipe. It's a rendering, a picture of a painting of a pipe, and it's by a surrealist. And underneath it says, this is
Magritte.
Magritte, yeah, Rene Magritte. And he says it's not a pipe.
Ce n'est un pipe.
C'est une pipe, yes. Very surreal. So here we go. Here was that shape. And then here's an arm. And there's a little bit of a banana, a little bit of a curve to it. And then a little bit of, there we go. There we go. Attach that arm. There it is. Then the legs are kind of like they kind of like spaghetti over it. So one, and let's see, I'll zoom in a little bit. They're very similar to Charlie Brown characters. The early Charlie Brown characters kind of reminding me of. Let's see, we're going to try to taper this leg as it comes down. Actually, it does taper down. So as it comes down, these two lines get closer together. And you want to see the shape as they come together. Look at that shape. Probably bring this side down. It's a little more rounded. See now, yeah, I did it light until you get it right. And then once you get it there, then you go darker. So you can go darker. See that shape there. And probably that's it. Oh, I probably did the arm a little high. I think I did do the arm a little bit high. Yeah, it's all right. I can probably lower it a little bit just like this, fix it. Or not. It's okay. I did fix it, but it's okay. Let's clean that up. I can shade it in. Yeah, there's some shape in here that doesn't I agree with. Well, it's okay. So there's that one leg. And let's see how we're gonna, this one's definitely foot is a little bit lower. And goes out like that. We got a little booty, little boot. There it is. The boot fits. There we go. And then we got the other foot, the other leg goes up. Yeah, half the battle of drawing is believing you can. A lot of times you can't. And we've taken on some drawings and I've broken them down really well. And the other ones I haven't. Sometimes I don't hit it. Sometimes you can blame the teacher. It's good to.
Eladio, I just took a picture of the drawings that I just did. I was for my white gel pen. I couldn't find it, but now I see it in the photo that I took. I see where the pen is on my desk. The pen showed up in the photo.
Oh, there it is.
Anyway, I just thought I would share that. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it's funny. Yep. It's like you're looking for your glasses and they're on your head. All right, let's see. I think that looks pretty good. A little bit of shade. It's a good shade practice. Is when you get into really shading and pencil control. You really want to have that mileage. Really get to that pencil control. All right, there we go. Let's see. Zoom out. Bam! Our two characters. They look pretty good right there. All right, Magritte, René Magritte, and Dali, Salvador Dali. Dali is not crazy, so he says. Oh, there! I just saw. You did post something. Oh yeah, there's your pen. Cool. All right, let's move on. Oh, we're going to, speaking of Groundhog Days. Oh no, we've got two little dogs, a dog and a cat, I think it is. Mutt's Comics. I'm going to draw these really quick. So if you can get them, great. If not, take a break. I'll share my screen. I'm going to do these really quick and see how fast I can do them. There's a lot going on with them, so I'm not going to really describe it. This will be a good exercise. See if you can get it. If you can't, it's okay. I'll slow down on the next one. But I'll try to do these pretty quick. Let me share my screen so you can see what I'm going to be drawing here, because there's a lot of stuff going on with these dogs here. Let's see. Here we go. There's a lot of lines and angles. It's
Nadia, what number picture is that?
This is number 3.
Number 3. Okay.
Of 21. Yeah. And then this is actually even coming down at an angle. The curves. They're really kind of complex shapes. There's a lot of complexity going on in here. That just a little bit more to describe, but if you see this stuff, these lines kind of help the way things taper out and then curve down.
That looks like Crazy Cat.
Yeah, could be. I don't know.
The character Crazy Cat.
Maybe let's take a look.
But I don't.
Eladio is very young. He may not know Crazy Cat.
Right. Well, that was before my time as well, but in my travels, I've come across it.
Crazy Cat.
Crazy Cat.
Oh, speaking of The Simpsons.
Crazy Cat with a K.
With K's. I think they might be with K's.
Yeah, K. It's crazy with the K and cat.
Well, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, look at that. Crazy. Oh, actually, it was it looks like it was an animation. Oh yeah, look at it. Yeah, it does have that style. Yeah, It's probably paying homage to this crazy cat, but yeah, it does have that style to it. But I think it's done. It was done after. Crazy. All right, there we go. Let's. I'm gonna go ahead and just jump in, see if you can see if you can. And I'm gonna use a marker too. I think. Let's see if we can grab a marker from somewhere. All my markers. But it's on. I want that marker. I want a thick marker. Oh, this was this.
Are
will
you
do.
gonna draw the whole scene or just the cat?
I'll draw the whole scene. Well, oh, there's not a marker. Yeah, I'll draw. I'm gonna draw as much as I can. I'll draw it pretty quickly. Is this a marker? Yeah, no, it's not a marker. I don't have markers, and my markers I know are in a cup outside next door. So yeah, you can get a head start. I am gonna draw pretty quickly. So, oh, here's a marker. It's a red one. It's good enough. That's good. All right, we'll see. All right, so I'm gonna draw pretty quick. So you see, I've got this shape here, the ear. And I know it's going to go here in that ear shape. And then the head of this dog coming down there, this other ear, this coming straight down, this at an angle. I should have a black marker. There's a little curve here. This whole shape of the dog. Oh, I think I lost the.
Can you pick it up a little bit?
There it is. I lost the little bit of the. Did I put it in the chat? Let me put it in the chat at least. Copy image address. There we go. Put it in the chat. There we go. That's it. All right. So yeah, look at that dog. It was pretty quick. I think the body could have been a little bigger. That's okay. A little bit comes down right there. And let's see. And then the cat. It's a dog and a cat. And the shape curves a little bit more. Probably a little bit closer. I can pull it a little bit closer. Let me see, get the right tip on this marker. Pull it a little bit closer. It's a little rounded. And it's all dark. So I know it's going to be dark. So I can make mistakes and fix them. The thing is to make them and then learn how to fix them. It's like, oh my gosh, how do you fix that? And sometimes being in the battle, you gotta, or you gotta practice. Actually, you gotta sweat, sweat during training. The more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in battle. And there we go. There's the head. Bring that closer, close it up, close it up. Try to get that shape. It does stick, the neck does stick out a little more. It does swoop and just get this kind of like shape, that shape. If you got it, great. If not, it's okay. I'm going fast. Yeah, there's that tail. Damn. And yeah, let's see, I'm gonna probably pull this ear out just slightly. So I'm trying to get it a little more. There we go. And then the ocean is just right there. All one just swoops. And then a little bit of a circle for the sun. Probably drawing it a little smaller than it is. Yeah, it is definitely out of proportion, but it's all right. It's okay. We're still here. And then there's a, oh my gosh, one of the dunes in Pismo. And just got dots here and there. And there it
I
is.
think Bugs Bunny references Pismo Beach.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. And they got shadows here. And the shadows kind of like little streaks just coming off of here.
Ellen, am I right?
I
Might.
only remember Albuquerque.
I
He
do
always
remember
said it's a
Albuquerque.
wrong turn in Albuquerque.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hair, dye. Get it? I just get it. Dye hair. Oh, that was a different episode. All right, there it goes. All right, that was pretty quick. Mutzcomics.com. Thank you very much.
Can you leave this for about 30 seconds and let us somewhat catch up?
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. Yes. See, this is interactive. This is what I like. It's not just me here by myself. I can put more little dots. Let me see. Bam, 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 bam. See, and I look at the spacing. This probably could have been up a little bit higher. And I'm looking back and forth, seeing how accurate I was, how inaccurate. And that's okay. Just let it go. See it and then just let it go. Doing the dots, little pointillism. Yeah, sometimes you want to work on, going slow and taking your time. And then other times you want to go really fast. You want to mix it up. You want to mix it up and stretch yourself and not get bored. Not get bored. Mix it up. 30 seconds, 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. Should we get color? Ooh, throw some color in there. Put me on the ATV. Oh gosh, that was quite, I'd never bled so much. Oh, here's my black marker. Ah, this is what I was looking for. I can go in here now. See, I can even go in here and make some corrections with the black on top. Bam. See, I can actually bring this out a little bit more. We'll pull this forward a little bit more. A little bit lower, a little bit more out. See, this is a little bit more accurate. Because I can see it and I can see how it's same, how it's different. There's a little bit more of a neck, a little bit more of a turn there. Look at that. Bring it down a little bit more. Look at that. Look at that difference there. I don't know if you can see it. And just some of the corrections I've done. They're just slight. They're just really slight. Cat and dog. There's a little bit of a bump there. All right, I'm good. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see. Let's crank. Let's just crank. Ooh, groundhog. Actually, this one. I'm not gonna. This one's very cartoony. So I'm going to. Yeah, this one definitely. It's okay if you don't get it perfect, but this is good practice. This is another one that's gonna be fast. The next one we'll take our time with the next one, but this one is just really. It's so funny. He's mad for some reason, but he's kind of like got a circle head, and then you got this circle head, and you got these teeth right in here on this half. So if we break
Did you want to post it?
yeah, I'll post it. Yeah, I'll post it. Copy image.
I gave you 7 groundhogs to pick from.
You sure did. And I like drawing everything, so I try to draw as much as I can. So this is the groundhog. This one's really you can see the different style.
Which number is that picture?
This was number 4.
Okay, thanks.
Number 4, and it's in the chat. Here's the half. This is my oval. This is really crude drawing, which is really fun. It's good to just let go like this. He's got one eye a little bit bigger, another eye a little bit smaller next to it, right in there. And then angry eyes. Don't forget your angry eyes. It's a Pixar reference to Toy Story. Potasso. Enjoy tonight. See you next week. All right. Thank you for joining us. There we go. There's one eye right in there. Angry. Yep, 7:43. Wow, time flies. So you get into the zone. And you got to see how they're overlapping. And those eyes. And where the pupils are. It's got like a point for the head. I don't know why it does. And then like a little circle for an ear. And on this side too, it's like a scribble drawing. It's really crude, but it's cool. I mean, it's so raw. It's got just comes down like that. Like this nose is just scribbled in. And then the teeth, really big teeth. Right in here. A little bit of overlapping. Right about that. There we go. There you go. That's it. All right. I think we nailed it. I didn't even mention the shapes that I kind of see here. This is actually where these whiskers are. You can kind of see if you kind of imagine them. Doing it in pencil here as one big shape. You can kind of see it like a tapered shape there on that side, and then on this side as well as the whiskers kind of come out right in there like that. There we go. Got my marker. What kind of marker is this? It's actually not bad. Not bad at all. All right, and this other side, just a bunch of scribbles, but I'm gonna put a little bit of razor kind of edges on it. See, kind of like a little bit more of a first shape than he does. Whoever drew this character. And then it's inside some kind of an oval shape. This oval shape kind of goes in there like this, a little bit probably steeper, but right in there. And then it's got some very simple little oval hands, little fingers kind of coming out on one side and on the other side. I'm going to make them a little more solid because those are not as solid as they could be. All right, let's see. Bring that hole back. Put those fingers in. Actually, probably should start with this one first because this one's on top, and then these would be underneath. And then all the shaded side. So 6 more weeks of winter. We got some rain here in sunny Southern California. That was good. We're still in a drought, they say. Had some really good rain though. Bam. All right, almost there. Look at that. I don't know what else is going around on him. Looks like, I don't know. I guess he's covered. There's snow and stuff. All right, I see where the whiskers are kind of going. There's one up here, one over here, and then the one in the middle. Bam, right there. And then the other side as well. One right there. One right in here, and then one in the middle. There it is. Bam. All right. Next drawing is down. This next one is going to be a little more challenging. This, it's funny too. He's got a big old eye and he's got a big old cheek. Very asymmetrical, very asymmetrical. This one's a lot more solid. This drawing is a lot more solid and a little more challenging. So let's jump into sharing Angry Rodent. That's what, that's what they said on this morning on the, what show is that? One of the news channels. The reporter, what's his name? He goes, oh, he's going to take over your job to the news weather guy. And he goes, no, he's called him a rodent and called him, I don't know, he's not going to take my job. All right, here we go. Let's go with this one. All right, good to see a lot of smiling faces out there. We got 22 people here. 10-9, my favorite number. There we go. Bam. I can see y'all's. You don't have to put your name. That's great, you do. All right, so we've got a big cheek here. That's definitely the head here. It's and if we look at the ratio, the same height, same width, it looks pretty. I mean, it is cut off here. It is cut off here, but it almost has the same height, same width. Let's take a look. Let's put our square in there and see how our square fits on there. But I can see just by, yeah, you see, look at the square fits right in there. Look at, bam. It's got the same height, same width. But that I just make reference to that. And definitely then you start seeing the other circles. I kind of definitely see this circle cheek right in here. Oops, that's not a circle. There it is. Circle cheek. There it is, that circle. Bring it over. A big old circle cheek. Hey, I'm not trying to type in there. I mean, and it's more rounded at the bottom here, and it's a little straighter at the top. But overall, just looking at that piece of clay right in here, I mean, you can actually really see like here it's straighter, and then here it curves more, and here on this side it's straighter. But that whole mass in there, that mass helps visualize space. You want to see the space, and see the parts and the whole, right? See all the parts and see how they all fit. That oval eye right up there. This other oval eye too. But it's oval this way. This oval eye here is a little more complex because seeing this one here that I just drew, you'll see when I take it out, that right there. Let me move it out, and you can see it. You can see it there now. It's covered up by the eyebrow, and this side, and on this side it's not drawn, but that eye is there, like doink. Oh, and then down here you've got this whole kind of flow of that beak coming out and then curving here with the mouth. And then if we relate to that to the body, you can see it's a little bit smaller, but you can see that square in there as well. Like right in here, very squarey. Let me see, is that a perfect square? Right in there. See, look at that square. Damn, right in there. The hand's right in the middle. See, if this is broken down into thirds, notice the hand on that side. And if this was in half, right, that's a little bit higher than half. That shape in there and that shape up there. And actually even seeing the two squares together, that big square and this little square, and how they relate. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. We're ready? You're ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh, yeah, we can do it right next to this this one. Oh, tell you what, I'm going to screenshot it. I forgot to screenshot it last time. Where's my chat at? Here we go. And we can screenshot it and put it in the chat. So if you need to lay reference to these, you can. Yeah, captured for your reading pleasure. There it is. Angry wrote it. He's a little more than angry. He's like, I don't know. He's like, oh, he's the feelings and the emotions. And oh man, like speaking of The Simpsons. All right, let's see. Here we go. Let's do this. All right. We drew McConaughey. All right. Here we go. Let's do this. I'm going to do it right next to it. And let's see. Here we go. Let's just see how we're going to fit it in. Let's choose your weapon. We got a 5B here. And I know that cheek right here, that cheek is a big part. So that circle, I can use that as a circle. And then I know that this whole head on this other side kind of goes off of that with that eye in there. So actually that would be a good starting point, that circle, that cheek, because then that eyeball is like right above it. And then the head and the other cheek. See, and I'm just sketching it in. I'm just blocking it in, seeing where it all kind of goes and how it fits. And then the body. So we do have a circle here. We do have an oval on top of it. Notice the cheek actually is bigger than this, the eye. It's fitting in there. And it's good to kind of block it in and see how it's all going to fit. So you don't get to what a lot of people get, and I've gotten a lot of times, where your drawing doesn't fit on your on your paper, and sometimes you're forcing it to fit. You're forcing it to fit. But it's sometimes better just to let it go off the page if you didn't plan it well. Bad planning. Proper preparation. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Try to say that 5 times fast. Try to say that once. All right, here we go. Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
His the nose is like the Superman logo.
Yeah, it's that diamond shape. It's a triangle, but this one's rounded. It's a rounded, but yeah, it's really close to that. All right, good. You're making connections, and that's what it's about: seeing the connections, seeing what you relate to. There we go. I can see this angle of the neck. I can see this cheek here, this eye. Probably go a little bit wider, bring it down a little bit. Now I'm double checking everything, how things go. I know that triangle of a nose, Spider-Man, Superman. And there's a slight angle. I think the left side is a little bit higher than the right side. Fit right there. And I know that oval of that eye, I can sketch it all in, kind of see how it's all going to fit. That forehead, this here. And I'm just kind of like scribbling it in. Then I can draw on top of this. And that mouth is sticking out right in here on this side. Oof, and the teeth. Teeth are going to be right about in here. Let's see. And then this is all just my foundation. I'm going to bring that ear up. Now I know I can see it. This ear is going to be a little bit higher, right about there. Some hair coming up on that side. And then maybe the ear there's another ear on that's above that. Okay. And I'm looking back and forth and making sure, kind of seeing these big shapes, seeing even this big shape of this whole thing. And then seeing this here, and then the hand right in there, the other hand. And I'm just drawing it as an oval. There's a lot of other stuff to it, but I'm just trying to see the big shapes. And just blocking it in. And usually I do this really quick, just and really lightly. Just get it blocked in. And then I can just do my drawing on top of it and take my time with it. I can actually go with a marker now and do it. Let's see. So let's do that. Let me zoom in and then start with this smaller eye. See, it's all just sketched in. It's all scribbled in. It's all the framework of the house. Now I can go in and really get that center of that eye and slight angle up like that. Bam, there it is. Then you've got the eyebrow coming in right in here. That. And then this rounded part. This rounded, because this is the eyeball that's in there. You want to try to get it around like an eyeball. And then this bottom part here on this other side. Bam, right in there. Okay, right there. And then we've got the little line for the nose as it drops on this other side. This is like a bag underneath this eye on the right side. I'll slow down a little bit. That's the eye, the brow, or the muscle, because there is an eyebrow above that right in here. There's an eyebrow, kind of tapers up. That eyebrow right in there. All right. I'll leave it open like that. There's a couple dots in there, but I'm not gonna put them in. All right. This expression. One eye really small, the other one like, oh. Conniption, a conniption. Oh man, I wish my Google was working. I'd ask her, hey, what is a conniption? And I think that's what this gopher's having, a conniption. There we go. There's that kind of like an egg shape. It is. I think it is more of an egg shape, though. I think I made it more of an oval shape. It does squeeze in as I'm looking at it a little bit more on the top, and you're gonna have to see it how it's not like an oval, but it's all right. I got it as an oval. We've got the bottom bag, and now there's a top one that goes over that, right over. As it's popping, as that eye is almost popping out of his head. Oh, I just messed up. I went down too low, too fast. I don't have white out. I do have white paint. It's okay. Just let it go. Let it go. Take a deep breath. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Mr. Chavez, what's my grade? Oh, you have a fail. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. All right, here we go. Let's do this ear. This ear is like a leaf shape. It does taper. And it goes right there. So that's the inside of the ear. And then the outside has two parts on that ear that goes right above this eye. And just go in there, right in there. And this is a really solid drawing. I mean, this person really knows his form and can really feel the shapes. This one's just, well, they see the shapes, but this one, I think this one, you can really almost feel the form, 3-dimension, solid drawing on this character. All right, let's put the little hairs on his head. He's got 3 little swoops, 1, 2, and 3. Oh, had to squeeze in that last one. Did it a little too tight, but that's okay. And then we got that ear. Ear's more of a triangle. I did put an oval first as a placeholder, but I can see it's more of a triangle. It kind of goes out at one angle and it comes down. But you can see it fits in that oval space, that little oval spot that I kind of put in there. And then just, I'm just fixing it up. It's just like a little placeholder. There's that other ear, more of a triangle in that spot. And this part right here, whoa, the forehead, a really nice curve from here to there. I'm gonna go from the ear and bring it forward, nice rounded swooping motion right in there. Oh, right in there. That's it. And yeah, you can see like the swoops that it has here on this side are more like what I did. In the other one, I don't know, that the artist just scribbled them in, which is fine. I mean, it's your style, you know, you own it, or you know, or it's your where you are in your learning. It's all good. It's all good. You know, you just gotta know what you like, what you're shooting for, and it is all good. What's important is, you know, expressing yourself, just doing it. I'm going to bring this nose down a little bit. And there's the spacing wise, I think it is off. I can see, and it's not a big deal. It's just bring it down slightly. Oh, there it is. So I got that. I think I brought it down or made it a little wider than it should have been. That's all good. And then it's got an oval shape inside it, that highlight. Oh, I can use that right in there. I'll put that oval shape and I can shade it really quickly, lightly. See, shade it with my black marker or hatch, put some hatch marks. There we go. Well, thank you for joining us tonight on this February 2nd. Wow, time, the second day, the second month. 2 2s. I did say earlier my favorite number was 22. This year, I thought it was gonna be, this last year was gonna be such a great year. It was such a hard year. Oh my gosh, it was such a hard year. It's pretty tough, I think. But we got through it. I think I'm looking. This year is gonna be a little better. It's all good. It's all good. All right, almost there. All right, I got my mask in. I can see the cheeks. I'm looking back and forth, see what I need to fix. This right here, actually, that side's not as important right here. This is what's important, this mouth part, getting the solid, kind of like this solid part that goes out that way. And then I am coming in and around and up, right in there like that. Bam. Kind of looks like a number 6, or I don't know, it looks like a musical note. That's what it kind of looks like. Then it's got the teeth inside 3, 1, 2, and 3 right there. 1, 2, 3. All righty. And then they got the mouth that goes around that, a little wrap around. And then we got the teeth. These teeth do taper a little bit more. The other ones didn't. So these ones over here, these ones taper a little bit more, and I know it's they're going to be a little bit lower. I can actually go in there and sketch it in because I know it's going to be a little bit lower. They do taper. They should fit right about there. Right about there. Let's do this. Let's do it. Here we go. There it is. There they are. That looks good. Probably could have been a little bit wider, but it's okay. And then I know there's like three little swoops on this side. Almost like my signature actually. That whoa, whoa, and then whoa, like W's on that side. All right, one cheek down, one to go. Then we got the arms, and away we go. Tomorrow is freaky 0203 02. Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm a numerologist myself. Yeah, I do like seeing numbers and patterns and curiosity. 0203 2023. Sweet. All right. Let's see what other comments. So much. I need to head out, have fun. She left. That one was a 7:25. I missed that one. That was about an hour. Oh, I saw Edvard Munch exhibit at the Smithsonian in 78 or 79. Yeah. Smithsonian is magic. Oh yeah, man, I can't wait to go. I like when you have only one screen showing how you do the drawing. Oh, okay. Thank you. Could you paste the Sea Monster link? Oh yeah, we did that already. Dear newbie. Oh yeah. Ah, just going back. No training at all. Brand new. Thank you. I wonder if that person's still here. Oh yeah, you are. I see you. All right. Welcome. Awesome. I hope this is helping. Yep. Yeah, it's all shapes. Everything you see is made up of shapes. Learn to see shapes and go, oh, there's a circle. Oh, there's a circle. And, oh, there's an oval. It's not quite a circle. Oh, there's a square. There's a square. Oh, that's not a square. It's kind of a rectangle. And then you start seeing angles. We start using RAP. Ratios, angles, proportions. All right, we've got three little dots on each side of the cheeks. There's 1, 2, and then 3. Right in there. 3 dots on one side, and then 3 dots on the other. 1, 2, 3. There you go. And then we got the cheek, this cheek here. Look at that. That expression. Oh my gosh. Like somebody hit him with the back of his head with a bat or something. Okay, I can already see that this needs to go a little bit higher. This is going to go higher. I can already see right in there. It's going to be up here. That's how far off I am. And then I'm going to go here and I can see that how it fits there. That's fine. Actually, that's not bad. So I can bring it up here. And then just, there's one little, all this little hair. And I'm just, putting it in. I put in, it's like 3. It probably has like 4, has a small one in the middle, but that's good enough. That's okay. And then it has this really rounded cheek. This bottom cheek is like really rounded. So it kind of goes straight and it's really rounded right in there. Bam, there it is. All right, that's good. All right. And then we got the neck and the body and and everything around it. And then we're done. We're done. You can see the hole is different here. It looks like a crater. Let's see. There we go. Let's get that neck in. Nice angle. And then we got the shoulder. Bring that shoulder up. And that arm. And this arm. Like that. Right in here. I'm going a little bit lower than I have. That's okay. 2 and 3. Oh, I messed those fingers up. That's okay. And then he's got a chest. I'll draw this over. I'll draw this part over. So going kind of fast. And hands are tough. And there's a lot happening here. So if you get it, great. If you don't, it's okay. Just know that some things are harder, especially when you're first starting. Hands are the toughest thing. Even AI is having trouble with hands. If you look at AR art, the hands are Yeah, definitely. But just give it a couple months. That's going to get better too. I've been seeing it get better and better in the last few years, especially the last couple months. Yeah, I've been following AI stuff for years. But yeah, this last couple months, it's really it's growing exponentially. So I mean, just the thought of that is wild, mind-boggling how it's growing, how something grows exponentially. There is a word, I guess, a word problem, a puzzle. You have this pond with lily pads in it. The lily pads double. You know, they double every day. They double. That's exponentially growing. They double every day. That's the rate. So if they double every day, and the pond gets full after 30 days, when is the pond halfway full?
The 29th day.
Right. Can you explain?
Well, it doubles.
Yeah, it doubles. Yeah.
Double in this. Well, mostly I can explain because I heard this years ago with some ecological thing that we're all dead on the 30th day or something.
Yeah.
So
Half the
if
people
it's
dead,
going to
yeah.
double when it's halfway full, and if it doubles in the
Yeah.
next day, then
Right. No, that
but
is
but mostly it helps if you've heard the story before.
yeah, it helps. But just on your own, trying to wrap your hand around that, like, wait a minute, halfway is 15. But yeah, doubling when things grow exponentially. I mean, like, even what would you rather have? $10,000 or a penny for what on your first day, 2 pennies the next day. I'm talking about pennies until, for 30 days. What would you rather have? Pennies or $10,000?
I don't.
Question, so we know it's the pennies, right?
Yeah, it's the pennies. It actually turns out to be more than $1 million.
Really?
Really, really, really. I would do the math for my students. I do it, and we don't have time for that. Oh, actually, maybe at the end today, if you remind me. Can you do the math? I'll do the math. But yeah, you double it. If you double it, it grows exponentially. For 30 days, it's over $1 million. All right, let's get to our next drawing. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. We got 3 new messages there. Let's see below. Thank you so much. There's hope for me after all. Good. I'm glad. AI art. Yes, AI art. Oh my gosh, AI art. I don't know if you're still here. Oh yeah, you are. Yes, let me share that AI art actually. Because I was playing with it again. I've been playing with it. There's different ones. There's one that I was actually playing with. It's called Dream. It's called Dream Studio AI. Dream Studio AI. It's probably the easiest one to use. The other ones are, like Stable Diffusion, and all the other ones are a little more difficult. But this one's a little bit easier. You can just type in anything and it'll do it. So here we go. Dream of a distant galaxy, concept AI art. And this one actually has a prompt guide. I can see the history. If we go to history and see, oh yeah, I was looking at the groundhogs. Look at all the groundhogs. I typed in Obama. This is what it came up with when I typed in Obama. Then I typed in, I Love Lucy, family portrait. And this is what it came up with. It's come up with. So it actually holds your history. That's interesting. Oh, and I did, ducks. I did ducks and came up with those ducks. And I did a couple of groundhogs just to see what kind of variety it came up with. But you can actually have it, let's check this out. You can go back to Dream. You can have a groundhog surfing, or you can have them do anything. Let's, matte painting, you can actually, in the style of something, let's do a groundhog. Groundhog surfing. And then so we can painting by in the style of should we go Van Gogh? No, let's just do that. See what happens. And look at real quick. Bam. And there he is. Look at groundhog surfing in the kind of surfing. Oh, yeah,
That looks more like Dali, the one down on the right bottom.
this one, yeah.
Looks like a Dali painting.
Painting. We can actually put in Van Gogh. Let's see, let's put Van Gogh. Van Gogh.
They look like prairie dogs instead of
Yeah,
groundhog.
yeah, they do. What are prairie dogs? Oh, look at
Half
that.
prairie dog.
Look at this. Oh my gosh. I put in the word Van Gogh and look at that. Oh, this looks like a Cezanne, not a
You
Cezanne.
know, Van Gogh didn't make any money during his lifetime.
Oh yeah, very little. I
And he
think
was, it's just really, it's so painful for me to think about that he suffered so much in his lifetime.
he did. He
Never
did.
knew what was coming.
No, no, no. Yeah. Starry Night really has the song really kind of plays into that. But yeah, and that plays into the starving artist. But a lot of art, there's money in art. There is. Just got to know how to get to it
At the
and
same
know.
time, there's so much talent out there. You know, you look at
Yeah.
that drawing group on Facebook that you pointed me to. It's just, you
Yeah.
know, just amazing. And there's other groups. There's so much talent.
Yeah, there is.
Without AI,
Yeah, man.
people,
Yeah,
you know, really working at it.
yeah,
Because, you know, you read these science fiction stories where there's, you know, where people can't even move anymore because they just want to sit back and do nothing,
yeah.
right? And then all that's left is like a big pulsating brain.
It's it's like Wally. Wally, and they're all, yeah, that movie Wally.
So that's not good.
No, no, that's
Have you been
that's
to
the thing.
the
We
have you
really,
ever been to the Van Gogh exhibit in LA?
uh-huh.
Oh, I'm going on Friday. I'm super
Oh,
excited.
oh, nice. Is that the immersion one?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
Did you say the Van Gogh immersion?
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
super
I saw that in New York. It was really great.
I was traveling the country and I would see it in different states that I was in, but I never actually went to it. But
Yeah,
this week
Great.
I'm
It's great.
gonna go.
There's one segment where you feel like the ceiling is coming down at you. I don't
Oh,
know how
wow.
they did that effect, but you know, you could get really high on that. It was
Yep.
great. I mean, we stayed, you know, for it to happen again because it was the most awesome. And you're not moving, not, you know, you're just sitting there, and yet you feel like the whole room is coming down. You know, the ceiling is coming down at you, and it's quite an illusion. So I hope you enjoy that.
I'm sure I will. I'm into projection too, so it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Oh, wow. That's great.
awesome. All right, so back to drawing. Here we go. No, I'm glad. You know, this is I really love the conversations and everything. Really need to. Yeah, that's awesome. I remember one time people were actually in the meeting talking before I even started. Actually, it happened a few times. I'm sure it happens more. But sometimes when I get into the class, it's quiet. I'm like, oh, you guys should be talking. You can actually get in before I do. All right, we've got to this drawing, and we've got that. And let's see, I don't know which one we're gonna do. I haven't really chosen. But this one definitely goes into values and shading and lights and darks. A lot of stuff interesting. I don't know if people have the materials, and they are working off on not a white paper. It's actually a toned paper. The paper's toned, and they're using values to get these water droplets with the
I think
highlights.
that these drops is what, I think this is what the person who asked for them was asking for, drops like this.
Yeah. Was that last week or today?
It was last week that someone asked for water droplets.
Yeah. I don't know if that person's here, but this is perfect. This is what I've seen. The pictures are not as clear, but this is it.
I'm
Uh,
Theo. I just thought it might be interesting to do a water drops, you know, figure out how they go together.
Yeah, well, there's different parts. There's the highlight, so you can see the highlight. That's definitely the highlight. Then you have the all kinds of stuff happening with light. The way the light actually is getting magnified in here, and it reflects and refracts and all kinds of stuff that's happening as far as shadows too, and stuff like that. I learned actually how to do this in Photoshop, which was pretty neat. I use it in a photo effect. just something like this would be very time consuming to get all the droplets and stuff as a whole drawing. You
I
could
like the
probably
water
sketch it out.
drops too.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind drawing that.
This one or the drops?
No, the drops.
Yeah, we'll definitely we'll do some drops. Do some drops. And if you don't have tone paper, I'll show you how we can do it. We'll create a tone and then we'll work on that. And these are just all really cartoony. And I also included kind of stuff like this in the panels that I did. Both kind of designs. Huh. All right, and more water, yes. We're expecting rain on Sunday here, a little bit Sunday morning, but that's probably the last of it. The last of the rain that we're getting. That's cute. More of cartoons. We've done cartoons already. This one's actually really nice, but it's not as clear. I like this dog. Really nice, cute, very, the playful, running in puddles. And yeah, exploring water and the world around you without being scolded. All right, let's do this one. Let's do these. Let's do them. All right. Here we go. So we're going to do these drops. Something in the chat here. 29th day, accommodating human needs and numbers to the Earth's resources, published in 1978. If the world's population doubles every day and reaches capacity of, the 30th day, when is the world half full? Yes, on the 29th day. Right. All right. So yes, definitely puzzles like that and how things grow exponentially. And that's the whole thing too. When I heard the numbers and I knew exponentially as when I heard the numbers as far as COVID and how things were growing, I was like, oh no, this thing's serious. People don't know, how this thing is growing. And this was back in, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. There's so much controversy, so much. Oh my gosh, it really divided, polarized the country. But anyways, I'm not going to get into politics here. We're going to get into drawing. All right, so a lot of rounded shapes. This is interesting what's happening in the physics of this. Okay, why don't we just draw it? I'm going to sketch it in, and then I'm going to put a shade over the whole thing, and we have to draw it again. We'll draw it again. I might lose my drawing here, but it's really interesting to see water in space. If you see water in space, it does collect. It it does have its mass. So here's one drop, and this drop I'm going to squiggle it as it kind of comes up. And it sticks to itself like this as it waves down. So there's that oval shape, that solid shape, how it opens up. Actually, a little bit of a bump there, and then it gets thinner and then opens up. So there's a little bit of a bump. There we go, right in there. There's that one. Here's another water drop. Not perfect circle, so perfect for drawing. Here's an oval shape, and these little drops here, and then the big drop. We'll do a big drop, and this one has more of a teardrop shape, a little bit more of a teardrop shape, and this will probably be it. If you want to do more, you can do more, but I'm not. We're gonna do that right in here. Now this has shading and it has gradients, so those are tough, especially if you don't have the experience or even some of the tools. Some pencils won't let you do that. I do have an HB, so that's kind of like in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and I have my drawing. I'm going to shade my whole paper just to get a nice even gradient, nice great gray on my paper. And some papers are toned already, which is perfect. Okay, let me see. Try to get it as smooth as possible. Let me get my pencil down over here.
Can I use my stump for that?
Yes, you can use your stump.
I have a stump that's already got a lot of graphite on it.
Yeah, and this is where charcoal really works in, or other stuff. Yeah, even watercolor. I mean, because yeah, doing this with pencil, And if you don't have like, if you have something like this, or if you have a blade, I have two different kinds of blades. If you have this blade, it's probably the easiest one to get a hold of, but you have to be careful with it. You can push it where you can just get, and actually even get the lead, the graphite, and just scrape it onto your paper like that, and then get that to kind of like rub in. Or you can, this is a safer one, because you can push it in, push it out. And again, always use your blade away from yourself as we whittle away the wood. And then there's some, I do have a graphite, just a solid piece of graphite without the wood. They have those as well. A nice long piece. There we go. So you can see already, look at all
I'm
this
sorry,
smudge.
Claudia, with the solid graphites, you would scrape that onto the paper, or you would rub it on the paper?
I would get it on the side. I have a piece somewhere. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. There it is. This is a piece of graphite right here. This is HB. And yeah, see, so this is all graphite. It's a piece of graphite. So I would test it. Definitely always test your materials, actually. You can see there, look at that. Look at that. Get it down to a piece. And this is all one piece of graphite. You get a nice even shade. There's a little bit of texture in there, but you see it's a lot quicker because it's, you have this whole surface of lead. And you can see already kind of what's happening here. And this is shaded with just this shavings. But getting it smooth and with a pencil, definitely have to work down your pencil. And that's what I have here. And once it's worked down, then you can see. Okay, try to get a smooth shade back and forth. And this is a little bit of skill. Try to get it as smooth as possible, because I'm going pretty fast. You can see the frame rate.
I just found my my graphite, whatever that's called, the pure graphite.
Yeah.
And it looks like I actually probably used it to shave it onto the paper, because it has like a piece, like a bite taken out of it.
Uh-huh.
So I probably did that in some class.
Mhm. Cool. They're fun. It's fun. Once you get the basics down, then you start playing with the materials. But you really don't want to get stuck with materials. This shading stuff, this is even just like the icing on the cake. This is next level stuff in values. You really want to practice your drawing, practice all that stuff. This stuff's good to do as well. But when you're learning, try to focus on getting through the lessons. I got to get those lessons out, because then it all doesn't matter. Then you can actually go back to the lessons and I'll be a lot happier once I have all those lessons out, because then I can say, okay, this is what you need to focus on. You need to do this. You need to go through there, go through all the lessons. And then once you go through all the lessons, then it all kind of like
Yeah, but
comes.
honestly, Eladio, it's much more fun and to do it together.
Doing it together.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what, after the meetup, it asks you to rate the meetup,
Yeah.
How it was. And so, it says having a purpose, working together, that's so important.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is.
Especially nowadays,
Yeah. Yeah. Getting together.
because, I've been home for the past 3 years,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. Coming together to I know it's funny how something that took us apart, kept us apart 6 feet. Everybody's 6 feet. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's kind of made technology that kind of brings us together. I mean, the technology was there. I was actually doing stuff like this in my classroom 20 years before. We had actually, oh my gosh, I was on the bleeding edge of technology, because we would actually do online. It wasn't called Zoom. It was what was the technology? It was a different technology, but it was still, it was like before even the other one. There was another
Skype.
Skype,
Skype. Yeah, before Skype.
FaceTime.
No, it's actually
I
no.
think
It
they
was,
called it teleconferencing.
yeah. Yes, it was teleconferencing. Yes, we would do teleconferencing. That's what it was. We would do teleconferencing, and we yeah, with professional artists. Yeah, with this program that I was in, and then our internet wasn't fast enough for it. We had to. It was really interesting. Interesting times. Yeah, and another time I was fighting with the district as well was when I was ordering computer monitors, and they wanted to. Well, they did. I was asking for the flat ones. No, we can't give you the flat ones. But oh my gosh, it was such a working with the school district. I'm glad that was one of the things that was not fun. Working with a bureaucracy. All right, so I've got my shading kind of, you can see it a little bit. You can go in a different direction. Try to get it a nice tone on it. That's probably the most time consuming. That's why it's good to have like a tone paper already, and then having light colored pencils, even white pencils. And this is where you really study value, study light, how light interacts with materials and different materials like metal or glass or water, and just really seeing how light reflects, refracts, bouncing. Light bounces, is always bouncing. Light is always bouncing everywhere. I'm trying to capture that. But first you want to see the structure. We'll get to drawing what you see. And this is next level. Or if you want to take a break from it too, actually. Let's say if you're not perfect at drawing stuff, you can still look at stuff and see. Yeah, because you don't have to get to it 100% of anything, ratios, angles, proportions, because those challenges will always be there. But as you practice, like here, we practiced already drawing some circles and shapes on there. Giving it another little layer in a different direction, which kind of smoothens it out a little bit. But yeah, this is really time consuming. Trying to get it smooth in a different direction. Cross hatches. And then I could probably, if I had a good chamois works to get that.
Oh, I got one of those.
You do? Lucky.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, none of that will make me a better artist, right? It's using, practice.
Yeah, practice. Having the tools is nice, but practice definitely is more practice. I mean, yeah. There we go. I'm just using my finger to kind of like rub it. Then you get your finger all shiny like this. All right, become the Tin Man. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I still have my drawings down there, which is a good thing. I'm going to bring up the darks. So we're going to go, you can see how dark I can get with it right there. On this left side, for some reason they have it looks like the light is coming from the top left. So I probably wouldn't, I don't know. Yeah, it could be reflecting something. So this left side, I'm going to go in and bring it out as it comes over. Now what's happening is there's a gradient because it's rounded. This is dark. This edge is nice and dark and sharp. Right, this is the sharp edge. And then it comes out. Now I'm going to try to capture the highlights. We got some highlights. We got two highlights on this left side. We got one right in here on this big bubble, right in here. There's a highlight right in there. And I'm going to go get my eraser, my kneaded eraser, and bring that up. Bring it up. So erase that spot and clean my eraser by kneading it. And what district were you with? Oh, I was with LAUSD. LAUSD. Loust. Yeah. And look at that. Look at that highlight. Look at that. Just you can't have light without dark. And because it's dark, now you can see the light. Yeah, that's what they say.
That's Eladio's philosophy. You can't see the light without the dark.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes we go through we have our seasons, right? You can really appreciate and know which temperatures are like, because there's ones that you don't. It's like, oh, I don't like it there. So, but what makes you strong is like, okay, I don't like it, but I'm gonna see how good I can get when it's bad. How good can you get when it's dark? And then when it is light, it's like, wow, you're just even better, right? Just really tests you, pushes you. And sometimes we don't like it, but it does. We do need a little push sometimes, because we get comfortable. Because we get comfortable. And that whole quote from last week. Oh, I did come across some really nice pictures for it. Hard times make strong men. Men make good times. Good times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. Something like that. Yeah, same thing. I mean, sometimes you got to go through hard stuff. I mean, I've been through some pretty tough stuff I wouldn't want anybody else to go through, but I made it through. Tough times don't last. Sometimes we feel like it when
Just
you're
get
in it.
worse.
It does. Sometimes it feels like it, but I don't know. I think we live in incredible times. All right, so I'm going from a sharp edge, that whole sharp edge right there, and then it goes to the right, it gets lighter, right? So there's a gradient. We have a hard time seeing that gradient. So we have a sharp edge on that one side, and as it goes to the right, it gets lighter, right? So that's what I'm shooting for right now as I shade this. And then as I come to the right, it has really a nice little spread of graphite over the whole thing, and it makes it really easy to just shade out into it. You can see how it's soft. I kind of have it on the left, it's nice and dark, and then as it comes out, it just blends into that graphite, nice and smooth, almost like an airbrush. If you've never done airbrush, oh my gosh, it's like a little spray. It really fun to do. One of the things I learned to do actually young. I did some airbrushing. I had several. I had an Iwata, I had a Chandler, I had what other airbrush? I had like 3 different airbrushes. The Iwata was one of the last ones that I had. I actually did some Photoshop stuff, or Photoshop. Before Photoshop, I did some airbrushing for movie posters, and did some of that in Burbank. Worked on Next of Kin and some other movies.
You worked in the studio?
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was more like the advertising marketing part. It wasn't like although I've been to a lot of the studios. I've been to the Warner Brothers a lot. I've been to Disney a couple times before and after Pixar, there was a big change there. Once they got Pixar, the way they handled things, it was really interesting to see that change. I've been to DreamWorks, I've been to Sony, I've been to Nickelodeon as a visitor, not I wish it worked, but Sony was fun. Sony, I got to see their render farm, which was huge. I don't know how many terabytes it was, but now that I have like a terabyte, it's funny, I have a terabyte here of memory, but back 20 something years ago when they were working on Spider-Man, and their render farm was like, I don't know how many terabytes, it was like 20 terabytes, but it was huge. It was this whole hallway of humming servers just going at it.
I don't even know what that is.
Terabyte is amount of memory. Yeah, it's a terabyte, gigabyte. Yeah.
But
Which is
don't they say that the human brain has even more capacity?
Yeah, you know what? And I think, well, AI's figured out, so what's making AI really wild is it compressed. You can actually have a really small file that has a lot of stuff. What it's done is compressed information in a way where yeah, it's really made these connections. It's really wild. Look at that drop coming along. Yeah, it's really wild. as I shift gears myself. So I got my highlights. I got this. You can really see that the way that's looking really good. Okay, so that is part of that shadow, but on the right side, it's the same line, but it's it goes out into shadow, So on this other side, it's going out and actually creating a shadow. So if the light is coming from the top, all this shadow should be dropped and slightly dropped. And what I mean by dropped, right, let's do this over here. Let's see, let's draw some shapes. What I mean by dropped is if I were to trace the shape, it kind of drops. So it gets one closer and then drops. So if you can see here, the light is dropping down. It's close on one side, then it gets wide. And because this is the top, it gets closer together. And then on this side, it gets wide again because of the way the light kind of drops. It's dropping down. I don't know if that makes sense. So this is all the shadow would be underneath. And that's what's kind of happening here. That's what kind of happens here. They have it kind of going up, and then it goes out. It blends out. It blends out. But this is shadow on this side. This is something else. This could be a reflection, but on this side, it's definitely shadow dropping from this this here, and there's a little bit of a reflected magnification of the light underneath right in here as well. So oh, okay, let me show that right in here. Let me do that highlight, because that's what's happening right here. So I'm gonna get my eraser again and go in here and bring some of that light right in here, because it's coming in right in there as it magnifies in there, right in there. But a little bit more. If I do have an eraser with a motor in it, that would just like clean that up right in there. This is a kneaded eraser. You can get a nice little point. You can also use these vinyl erasers I like as well. This is a brand new one. There's a used one. And then they also have another thing to do too is eraser shields. You can actually make your own. Here I have some Post-its that you can actually make a. So the good thing about the eraser shield, it already has the shape cut out, but here you can actually use a blade and cut your own like little shapes. Put a little curve, you can pull on it. See, there we go. And I can use that. Actually, that's pretty good right there. Bam. Right in there. Well, it's not perfect, but it'll get you a nice little sharp right in there. See, look at that, right? You can kind of see it right there. But what's happening here actually is it all gets light. There's a light. I'm going to lighten all this up right in here. This whole water drop actually gets lighter in here. So I'm going to go in here, lighten up that whole side, bring this up. See, lighten this whole thing just a little bit on this side. And it should be soft on this side. Here we go. Using my eraser. And as I erase, it picks up the graphite onto the eraser and making it dirty. See, but that same dirt actually helps soften it up. So I can use that. Not dirt. It's not dirt. It's graphite. Students, my drawing is getting dirty. No, it's not dirt. It's graphite. It looks dirty. Sometimes I get afraid of. But what makes it when you do a nice even shade over the whole thing, and you practice that, then your shading is a lot more smoother. Notice how smooth that shading is right in there. That shading, once you have a nice layer of graphite. Yeah, there it is. It makes shading a lot easier. And you can see the values, the lights and the darks. I'm here going with my 5B. Get some of that shadow shading on this side. This side is shadow. And this blends out into the background. So it's really sharp right at the edge. Then it blends out to the background. All right, just added some photos to show examples of drawings of rain coming down. Nice. We got a thumbs up on that one. Who gave a thumbs up? I like, oh man, I love it. 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 When you guys are like pump pump behind the scenes doing stuff, talking to each other. I can actually open up a room too. If you'd like me to open up a room and you guys want to draw something else, or you want to, it's not just, the draw with a audio show. You guys, if you want to do stuff like, or meet and talk about other stuff, I can open up a room and you guys can go in that room. I don't have to be there. And you can make friends here too. Draw your own things. Just let me know. I'll open it up. All right. I'm going to bring this. There is quite a reflected light here. Let's see. There's some maneuvering that needs to happen. Pencil maneuvering. Because let me see. I'll probably put that a little bit of a highlight. I'm going to darken this up again. Right at the edge. And then bring some of that graphite back. And soften this up right in here. Because it does do that. Look at that. Bam. Look what I just did right there. Brought that in. And then this looks like a reflected light right in there. Look at that. Just really, really slight. Really subtle, very subtle shading, pencil control, practice. Pencil, another P word, practice, patience, persistence, process, the how, the process, praise the process. Because once you know how, then that's it, game over. Then you just practice. How did he do that? You know the recipe, the directions, and then it's just practice. It's like, okay, well, I need add a little more salt this time, or add a little more, oh, wait a minute, missed something. What does that recipe need? All right, let's see. We've got a little, there's one drop kind of going there. Probably can go a little bit darker at that edge. Bring it out a little more. Yeah, because you have some light that's coming up in there. Let me see if I can bring it up. Bring it up a little bit more as well. There. And then now I got to soften it up. Yeah, this is just kind of like a magnifying thing that's happening. And then it gets softer as it goes out. Yeah, doing the water droplets in Photoshop was really fun. You can do it in Photopea. Although I was watching a video today and they called it Photopea. That's what I used to call it. And then I did some research on it and I'm like, wow, the people that actually created it call it Photopea. It's Photopea, not Photopea. Well, I like Photopea. It's Photopea. It's just like Photoshop for free online. For those of you who are new here, we were using it on Tuesday. So I just made this all white. Erase that little circle dot right there. And then I'm going to do another little drop right there. Dark on one side. It has a little bit of a highlight. Try to keep that highlight. And then dark on the other side, but the dark is a shadow. So and then it goes out to light, and I'm blending it and then making little circles as it comes out. right there. Look at that. There. I'm going to try to put a shade a little bit inside so it's not so white, but so that the highlight turns up right in there. Just a little bit of a highlight. Look at that. Bam. Little drop. I just made that little drop. Oh, I think we can do one more, and we think we can move forward. What time is it? Oh, it's already going to be 9 o'clock. Wow, time flies. Time just flies as time goes by. Time goes by, bridges burn and big wheels turn as. And there's a lot of time songs. Time, 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 prime time, time. Round and round. If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do is to spend every day till eternity passes away, so I could spend them with you. And this is, I love this line on this song. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to do once you find them. It's funny. It's like, oh, I want to do this. And like, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do this. I'm glad everybody's made some time today. Thank you for joining us. Time, time, time. As time goes by, it's 8:50 here, 8:53 as my clock is behind. So those are all the parts. All I got to do that is do all those parts to all the little drops. You get the dark side, you get the highlight, and get the shadow. Any lights that are bouncing and reflecting and refracting. And that's pretty much it. You can see here's the dark side that blends out. Get it rounded. Then you got the shadow on the other side. Can you see that? Let me put it to the center. And shadow, it's just a shadow shape. You can see this is that shadow, and it should blend out nice and soft. Always depends on what kind of lights you have and all kinds of factors, but more or less. And then you've got, that's it. Are we going to call it a night already? Actually, those other pictures, I don't know. I'll take requests. We can talk, ask questions, or you can chat if you want me to be quiet. I can be quiet. I like that you guys chat. I really do. Chit chat, chit, chit, chit chat. All right, here we go. Let's put my highlights in there. Get my eraser and go in there and put these highlights. Get it nice and clean. Nice little highlight on this little water drop over here. Yeah. Wow. Values. There we go. What do you value? What's important? There we go. Value, value. Bringing some of this darkness back in. Accentuate that. Highlight. Whoa, that scared me.
At the appropriate time, someone has a picture they want to share that sounds interesting.
Ooh, really? Okay. Oh, yeah. You know what? You did. Let me refresh my screen. And if you want to continue with water, those are the basics. You can actually keep going with that, but you can see this. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. All right, let me refresh my screen. Let me share. And you say thank you. Awesome, Ellen. There we go. Let's see, refresh. Fresh. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, that's nice. Oh, you see, that would be nice. That'd be fun to draw. But you see, it'd just be here. Be just like, just get into the zone of drawing that. And sometimes I just feel like, oh, I don't want it to be boring. And it's the F's, it's the, that's fun. Actually, those ducks look fun. The F's, it's, it's fun. You want to get into the flow.
Those ducks were geese.
The geese, that's what I meant. Those ducks were geese. Oh, look at that. That's cool. The shading, the texture, and the values. Let's see what else is there. His posted. Oh, that's neat. Wow. That looks like an ink drawing. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Clouds. Oh, wow. Hey, that reminds me of when it rains, it pours. Morton Salt. Man versus, you can see the story. It's so cool. I'm back to the beginning. All right. So are we taking a request? Are we taking, let me see in the chat, see what's in there. We're at 17 of you. Awesome. Oh, I stopped sharing. This was fascinating night. And thanks again. You're welcome. Great lesson tonight. Glad I was able to join. Thank you so much. You're welcome. See you next time. Ine, yeah, she was here. Oh, yeah, Ine, I hadn't seen her in a while. She's a regular. She was a regular. She was out for a bit. All right.
Did Leanna have a picture she wanted to show
Yeah.
us?
I got something you might find enjoyable after doing that shading.
All right.
exercise.
What you got? Where's
Yeah,
it at?
I'll start my video. Hopefully it'll point away from
Oh.
me. Or,
You want me to? Oh, I can highlight you. Oh, let me see.
there we go.
All
All right, you're looking at the end of my hallway.
All right.
The story is that my father passed away March of last year at the age of 87. Back in 1968 to 69, we all lived in the Netherlands for a year and went around to different things. He was working there and he met a lot of people. Well, when he passed away, I inherited some of the artwork they collected. And around here in the
Ooh.
corner in the dark, there
Wow.
she is. I'll pull her out. And I want to share this story. I think I'll start doing it with people because, you know, we're starting to forget what the situation is. We see this beautiful girl, but the story is sort of on the back. This is my dad's handwriting. We framed in the US. Gift from Bob Wortham, 1969. So that's when we lived there. Charcoal sketch by Bob's father. Bob's father was a Jew who hid in the attic of the house where he lived for the entire time the Nazis occupied the Netherlands.
Wow.
During that time, he did charcoal sketches.
Wow.
And the son, my dad's acquaintance, and I sort of remember this and I sort of don't, but you know.
Oh, I can't hear. We lost you for a second. Or is it me? Oh no, what happened?
No, I can't hear.
Oh, we lost you.
Leanna, we don't hear you.
We lost you. All right. Wow. Luckily, I don't know if you can see her or no, I can see her picture, but her sound is gone. Your sound is gone, Leanna. Oh, now she's
I
gone.
wanted to screenshot that picture. That was a great picture.
Well, I did screenshot it. So let me see. Let's see if I can get it back up here. Let me see. Let me share my screen. All right, here we go. Sharing. Let me go to my Photoshop. There it is. I did screenshot it. There it is. Before I share this one, let me see. I did this Photoshop little job. I was just playing with it. This is what I did with Photoshop. I actually oh, you can see it there, and then I actually there. I actually made him bigger, just to I don't know, just to play with scale. You can see it's smaller and then bigger. That's one of my favorite pictures there. Anyways, let's turn all this off and turn this on. There it is. Yeah, really nice, really nice. It actually even reminds me of the work that we've been doing with the Loomis head. Here you can see this. It's a 3/4 view, one ear on this side, and then a nice little contour. Yeah, it's sad that she just broke out. I don't know where she went to. She just make it as big as I can. There it is. All right, yeah, I guess we'll end the tonight's class with this drawing. All right. It is a tough one. We'll see. We'll do the best we can with it. All right. Let's do it. So I take do the best you can. It is a tough one. So if you're still doing the drops, stick with the drops. Have fun with the drops. You don't have to do this, you know. Or if you're going to call it a night, that's fine. Call it a night. Or if you need to stretch, stretch. We're going to draw this. Here we go. I'm gonna throw something in the chat. Oh yeah, it says it's beautiful. Thank you, everyone. Good night. All right, Christine, thank you for joining us. This was fascinating night, and thanks again, Laurie. Where's yeah, she's
This is Leanna. I'm back. My phone did a spontaneous reboot.
oh yeah, I hate when that happens. Technology. Oh, I did get to screen capture, and we were kind of like talking about it. Oh, welcome back.
Yeah, we don't know who she is, but
Oh,
I don't want her story to die. So thank you for letting me share that.
oh yeah. Well, it's going to be here now. I'm going to post it on YouTube, and it'll be there. It'll be there. We're going to actually try to draw it tonight.
That's wonderful.
Yes. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad we could help you with that, and whoever this little girl is, wow. I'm sure she probably her great grandkids are around. So wow. So you don't know who she is, but you know the artist. You know because I guess it was on the back here. Let me see. Let's see. I even actually screenshot the back. Here we go. Framed in USA. Gift from Bob Wortham. 1969 charcoal sketch by Bob's father.
Yeah, and that's all we know. It was probably near where we lived, which was in southern the Netherlands, near Belgium. So I imagine it was close to there. And you know, I was 8 or 9 years old, and our neighbor next door had teenagers. And Mevrouw Geesink was a nurse during the occupation, and she had a German doctor in the ladies' bathroom when the Nazis swept through to scoop up Jews and throw them on the truck.
Wow.
So, you know, we forget these things. So anyway.
Yeah, I know. It's yeah, definitely some people want to forget, and definitely it's definitely part of history that it's very painful. Yeah, wow.
My parents are Holocaust survivors. They were in Auschwitz. So yeah, we don't forget.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody posted a picture. Let me see. Some of our drawings. We usually share. We haven't been sharing. We haven't been. I don't know. But let me see. Let's see if I can open it. I definitely saved it. Let's see if I can open it. Or how would I do this? Let me see. Now I have to go into my own thing. But we'll be drawing this. Taking a little bit of a break here. Download it. Let me see. Was it in my download files? There it is. Downloads. There it is. Is that? Oh no. I just downloaded it. Where did it go? Okay. Oh, Dad was a World War II vet. We don't forget either. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, I can copy it. Let's see. There's a copy. Let's see if that works. Paste it. Control V over here. Oh, there it is. All right. Ooh, look at that. Very nice. Ooh, look at, they did another groundhog. Awesome. See, this is what, oh yeah. They've been with us for a while. I can see this is another day we did this. Who is this person? Kayla. I actually don't even know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Kaylee. I don't know if she's still here. She said good night.
That's right. It's Kaylee. Yeah.
Kaylee. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You see, you've been with us for a bit. Awesome.
Yeah, and I just moved, so I couldn't find a pencil. So I just grabbed an insurance company, like a free pen, and it's been challenging, but
that's good though.
Yeah,
that's awesome. You've been taking on the challenge. That's good. And you dated it. This is awesome. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
All right. So let's turn that one off. There we go. We'll do this one. Okay. So Whew. So it is a 3/4 view, so it makes it a little bit more of a challenge, and we'll just try to do the best we can. I know this is interesting. Well, let's do this. I want to annotate it. Here we go, a little bit at least. Yeah, because this is what I see. I definitely always see this solidness of this circle here. You can see the forehead kind of bump out a little bit, and then the cheeks kind of starts coming down. These angles here. Is that my phone? Oh yeah, no, that's all good. And let me get you some straight lines on here so we can see some reference points. And definitely like the forehead, this cheek here. She's got it. It's pretty rounded. It's really rounded, but usually it's straighter. She's a young girl. The eyes, and you can see that there, and then this one, how the closer eye is a little bit bigger because it's closer to us, and then it just comes down. There's the middle. Get the middle as it comes down. Definitely the nose protrudes. Then the center of the mouth, in the center of the chin as it comes down. This a little bit straight, a little bit of a jaw. And this whole gets lost in here, but the jaw would go back up behind in front of the ear. Front of the ear, here's that ear, kind of lost in there. Really nice deep set eyes. Really nice. The hair just wisped in there. All right. Let's do this. I'll put this, I can screenshot it and put it in the chat now that I know how to do that. We just learned how to do that this year. Funny. All right, here we go. There it is. Here we go. All right. So there it is. It's in the chat. It actually looks better in the chat. All right, here we go. Let's just do this. Let's just jump in and do the best you can. You can draw straight from the picture or follow along with what I'm doing here. Let's see. Let me spotlight myself. My spotlight. Yeah, there we go. Am I too close? Zoom out. There we go. All right. Let's get set up here. Let's call this our last drawing. Call it a night. Let's see. So how we can do this little girl some justice. Sure. At least in her drawing. All right. So I've got that shape of the head here. And then we've got let my circle. The cheek. As it comes up. And this is kind of like the Loomis head. The Loomis head, it's got the sphere and then the shield, as he calls it. And then the eyes that were kind of like somewhere in the middle of that circle up here. And it's pretty close to straight across. So we got our circle and our shield and that. There, right? And definitely she's got her eyebrows got a little bit of concern, a little bit of push right at top of that eyebrow. I can see it. I'm going to call that the center, the forehead, that center as the nose comes out at an angle. There's a little bit of a swoop or a little bit of a push. And then the nose, I'm going to rest it right in here, right in there. I'm just making an oval shape, a holder space for the nose for now. I'm going to put everything in. I'm just going to block everything in to make sure where it's at. And if I need to make adjustments, I can make adjustments. This is the eye socket right in here. This is going to be where the eye socket is. I see that eye socket. This other eye socket, definitely bigger because it is closer. Right in here, maybe about that much. And I do look at it like, I do see the outline of it. This is like the outline, that outline of that shape. Then you got the temples that kind of come up in here. That cheek, that shadow kind of comes down this way. The ear way over here on this side. And it does drop a little bit. It's like right in there. Usually the ear goes up a little bit higher. But this ear drops a little bit more. And there's not a lot of detail. You just mostly see the top of that ear. It's mostly that top of that ear. And that drops and it looks like it's somewhere between the mouth right in here. Right in there. Usually drops because it's a little girl. Usually eyes, well, I use these as guides always. but it's usually like the top of the eyebrow and the bottom of the nose or the mouth. That's where this one is here. I can see that. Your proportions might be off. That's okay. What's important is the practice. Faces are the most challenging thing to draw. They sure are.
Earlier in the evening, wasn't it hands that were most challenging?
Hands are very challenging, but I think even more than hands, faces, because I mean, they have to be a little more precise. Hands are challenging because there's a lot of moving parts. Faces, because we look at faces all day long and we recognize, you know, is he friendly? Is it not friendly? Even, you know, and you got to stick with what the 3 F's. We started the night with talking about fun, flow, and frustration. So, you know, you gotta, you know, pick and choose your battles. And sometimes you can choose just fun and flow if you wanted to. Bob Ross did. Bob Ross didn't do portraits. Bob Ross just did landscapes. He just stuck with the fun and the flow. You know, what he thought was fun and flowing, and maybe better television. Is if he did portraits, I'm sure he'd probably lose some people. Happy little mistakes, one eye up here, one eye down here. Can't have happy little mistakes in a face. But here I'm very abstract. I can see the abstract. I can see the shape of the mouth kind of like right about in there, and how it relates to all the other shapes, and this cheek that kind of comes out and how it fits in there. Right. I'm seeing these big shapes. I'm not worried about the stuff in the inside. I'm seeing these big shapes first, the big shapes, and how all these big shapes, like the nose, how it all kind of fits together like a puzzle, this angle here, this chin here, this neck that comes down right about here, the hair. See this whole hair right in here, same height, same width, just about right in here. This little shape comes in and then it comes out again. Wow. We're drawing a drawing that is older than I am. Is it? I think so. Let's see. What was it? 1969? No, I was 60. I was born 67.
Oh.
But it was framed in 69, so it's probably older.
Well, yeah, it would have been 45 or before
Yeah, right.
if it was. you know,
Yeah, so,
dur-
yeah, definitely. Wow.
Yeah, there were dozens of these things against the wall
Wow.
that he drew in his couple years he was in that attic.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it helps keep you occupied. It helps you keep your mind, and it probably helped him survive. I'm sure. You know, it's stuff like this that you know, that you read some of these stories. There's quite a few. There's a couple. There's one, I guess, The Happiest Man, and then there was another one. What was the other one? Yeah, stories. What's his name? And I have that book too. I just haven't read it. But it's about his life, and he would see how, and he was a doctor, and he would see how if people had a reason to live, if once they lost that.
Frankel,
Yes.
Man's
Yes.
Search for Meaning.
Yes, that's the book, Man's Search for Meaning. Yeah, once they had that, if they had that, they would live longer. Right. Frankel. That's him. All right. Wow. This forehead, I'm pushing in and I'm pushing up, and I really feel this. I mean, I've done this, and I know, because I've studied the cranium and stuff like that, and I'm getting it in there, and I can feel it. Right. I start off with that, and I've got that in there, that, and then more hair up on top to another shape back here.
Did you have to take lots of science classes when you studied arts?
No, actually, but we did study, you know, we did study, we did draw skulls, and we did draw that stuff. You know, and I've heard of people drawing cadavers and stuff like that, and doing that stuff, but no, never did that. Yeah, the first person that kind of really did that was Da Vinci. Da Vinci actually really did some of the first real scientific drawings. that can actually still be even used as for today's medical field stuff. It's from what I hear and understand. He actually even did a fetus. He drew a fetus in the inside the womb, and really interesting. I'm sure he would do a lot of it in private because it was looked down upon. All right, I think I nailed the placement and the shapes of everything pretty much. I'm going to go ahead and again do the eyes, definitely the eyes, the windows to the soul. Try to capture that. If I can capture that, then everything else just falls into place. So I'm going to I already kind of feel like I've got a good placement for everything. The center of the mouth is going to be right in here, right in there, and it kind of goes straight across. And she's kind of looking down and across. All right, now these eyes, one is going to be like right in here. There's one pupil, the other pupil right in here as well, a little bit bigger. And then now the eyelids and all that stuff. Okay, so it looks really abstract, but I can see how where it all kind of goes and how it's going to come together. And that just comes with experience. So let me zoom in. I know it looks really abstract. All right, so here we go. Let's start off with this eye and get the little duct that's right in there. That's that little duct. And then it goes up, and that eye actually goes straight across the eyelid. This eyelid is coming down right in there. And then the bottom. And I think that's pretty good. And then it's got a little bit of the bag underneath. And then the eyelid up on top. Eyelid up on top. And I probably have to bring up this eyebrow a little bit. That spacing. I'm looking at that spacing. All right, I like that. The highlight should probably be a little bit more to the right. I'm gonna have to go in there. Wish I could paint it out. It's easier. It's easier than erasing, especially trying to get a clean eraser. Where's my needed one? I have this one right now. Oh, here's my needed eraser up here. Moving the highlight over a little bit. Yeah, and this is definitely need to have practice drawing eyes, practice drawing nose. If you don't have that, this is going to be a lot more of a struggle, and that's okay. That's okay. It's that frustration. It's that like, okay, I need to practice. You're not going to get good until you practice. You're not going to, until you practice drawing eyes, till you practice drawing whatever, the different parts, and then little by little put it all together. And there's that highlight on that side. Rounded on this left side. Really rounded. I'm trying to push it to be rounded right there. Get that eye shape. Eyelid. There we go. Feeling it. I'm feeling it. There we go. That space right there. Bring down the eyelid back a little bit right in there. There it is. Then here, all this shade inside this socket, this eye socket. There we go. That's it. Fitting this shape. See that shape. That's why it was important to see kind of like this, like she had sunglasses on. And then I just see everything that's inside. Everything inside just kind of takes care of itself. Because you kind of have to focus out, focus in, on the parts and the whole. And then here's that eyebrow that kind of pushes down. It's just like a little bit of a concern, kind of like she's looking out into the distance. A little bit of this little eyebrow push down. Like looking out. And then the eyebrow shape. Oops, that's a little too high. I'll clean it up right now. Yeah, just a little bit. There it is. It's okay. That's good enough. It's darker as it comes down here. Right in there. Let's get that other eye in there. We get that one eye, get that whole shape. Not too shabby. Yeah, faces are tough. Hands are tough too. For almost two different reasons. Almost two different reasons. Hands because they're really complex in how they move. Faces is because if they're off a little bit, then it's off. You can tell. Yeah, same thing with surgery. When they do surgery, they just moving things just by fractions. Little tucks here, little tucks there. Like this eye, yeah, they're really close to being. This one should probably across from this one. Bring it down just slightly, and I can do that. I'm actually looking at it here, looking at it there. And I'm looking at the eyelid. And then that shape. It does taper a little bit. So there's a little bit of a taper right in there. And here's that's it right there. And then you got some eyelashes just coming up, really nice big eyelashes swooping up on the left side. Bring it down, big dark eyes. Let's bring that highlight up a little bit. Oops, bring that down. And then there's a highlight at the bottom of this eye. I probably bring it a little bigger. Should I make this one bigger too? Yeah, I'm going to make this a little bigger. Making the pupils just slightly bigger. I lost my highlight. Bring my highlight out again a little bit. And my eraser in here. Tap, tap, tap. There it is. Brought it out a little bit. All right. I just pop a little bit. It does pop out. I might have to push it a little bit more. All right. I'm kind of happy with that. I'm not perfectly happy, but it's all right. It's hard to get me perfectly happy all the time. And that's a good thing because then I can appreciate it. I can like, oh yes, that's it. I hit it. And this is good. It's all right. And you only get that with experience. You only get that with experience. After doing it a lot of times, like, okay, this is one of my better ones. Oh, this is like average. This is what I've been doing average lately. Or it's like, oh my gosh, this one's above average. But you gotta, you can't have average until you have at least several. And there's that eyebrow. Eyebrow. Little cranium. There we go. So right there. That's the forehead. And just the hair. All right. I think I got the eyes. There's a little bit of a bag, or a little bit of definitely a highlight. Try to get it as a shape, not as a line. The little circles, a little bit of a bag as it comes out. All right, now the nose is a little hard to see. Some of it's blended out. It does kind of have your little bump right there. And then it comes in. You got your nostril that's right in here. It's coming in. Fun, frustration, and flow. Get in the flow. Get in the flow, the flow, the flow. It goes around, softening that nose down here, darkening the bottom as underneath the nose, it's shadow. Just slowly little circles, making it soft because it's rounded as it comes around. And then there's that little bit of shadow underneath the nose as well. So I'm bringing some of that shading down. Let's see, get that cheek in here, nice and rounded, right in there. Let's see, the bottom of the nose, this actually goes darker right in here. Right in there. Dark on this side as well, like it was a strongly interesting lit little girl, and as it fades down, let's get that top lip, that shape right in there, and then it curves down on this other side. Right, a little bit of reflected light on that top lip. Usually the top lip is darker because it folds in, and most of the light hits the bottom lip, which it does right there. There's a nice little highlight on top of that. And then it's dark right underneath, right in there. As it turns into the chin. There's a chin down here, a little bit of space underneath that. And actually a little bit of darkness they had, but dark right there, that same space. All right, you can see, when you zoom out, so you can see how it's coming along. More or less, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Look at that. Wow. And this is not, see how many people are, how many hardcore heroes are still hanging out. This is tough. All right, we got quite a few. Yeah. Oh, excellent book. They did a workshop on it for therapists that deal with cancer patients at Sloan Kettering. Oh yeah, the that book we just mentioned. Yeah, it is really good. It's very positive. I mean, yeah, definitely having a purpose. That's why I talk about purpose, having a reason to get you through those hard parts, the hard stuff. This little lip as it comes in here and curls up. And then the chin goes in and out right here. Just a little push in and a little push out. Seeing the form, seeing that. Oh, I killed it a little bit. I'm not gonna, well, it's all right. Right in here. And then there's a little bit of underneath right there, that spot. I don't know if there should be more. Yeah, let's just do it. And the rest is just shading. I'm gonna go ahead. I think that we did all the hard parts already. I think that's not too shabby. Let me clean this up. Our little guides. That one makes her look a little matte. So let's erase that. Let's clean this up right here. Bam, bam, bam. My temple. It's another neat person, Temple Grandin. There we go. There she is. Get some really nice soft.
I actually got to meet her
Oh, nice.
to a lecture. It was a long time ago. She and her mother
Oh, wow.
at State University here in New York.
It's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
she spoke out here recently too.
Just
I'm sorry.
It was awesome.
Yeah. She's amazing. Dr. Temple.
Yep.
Yeah.
I missed something somewhere. Who is this Dr. Temple?
Dr. Temple Grandin. She's got Asperger's. Actually, she's on the spectrum. She's further up on that spectrum. They did a whole movie on her. Really interesting woman. Grandin, the movie. And she really understood, and her mom, gosh, her mom really believed in her and really pushed that she get learning, and she had a lot of support. It's definitely hard because she had autism, and she took her learning way up there and understood how actually that really helped with the treatment of animals, cattle specifically. She developed processes and ways that they should be handled and moved around, which was a lot more humane.
She's the opposite of AI.
Yeah.
She could picture the whole construction of the corrals and the, whatever she was constructing,
Right,
picture the whole thing in her head.
right. All right, so a lot of little subtle shading. I'm gonna really trying to get it really subtle, really light in here, just pushing it all the way through, really light and subtle, just giving it a little bit of push, just really slight, really light, soft. There we go. Now I can push these shadows a little bit more. Right here in the temple is where we started, I think. The whole temple, Grandin offshoot. Or pushing this in a little bit more. Well, I've got that important part. So I mean, I don't even have to push this as much as it is there. I can just, depending on how much I want to go with it. Definitely the ear. I'm going to bring out that ear, top of the ear. Yeah, there we go. And then I don't know what's going on in there, but it's all, I mean, I don't know if it was the picture or what, but it gets blurred out.
Our portrait teacher told us that nobody's really interested in the ear, so you don't have
Yeah.
to, don't spend too much time on it or
No, they
detail.
don't. Yeah. No, not a lot of people do, but it's good practice. If you have the time, this is important. This is definitely the important part. Yeah, but the ear, like nobody really.
Well, I mean, he was telling that to beginners,
Yeah.
because obviously, if you know what you're doing, you'll be able to get all the structure.
Right. Yeah, and it just comes with time and practice.
Right.
Here we go. You can see, here we go. It's coming along. Trying to get the mass of the hair in, and these swooping patterns of light, dark, light, dark. So it looks a lot like it's scribbled in. I'm trying to work on those. And then I can actually just shade it all in as it has that mass. All this hair in the back. She has fuller eyes. I don't know. Let me see. It's not too bad. Not too bad. I think. All right. I think the batteries are right there. All right. Any questions, comments, complaints? I don't know. We'll see. Definitely the AI stuff is coming. I've got other stuff I'm working on, a form for people to fill out to help direct where we're going. I did actually make some changes to the if you've seen it, there's little slight changes every time. I always look at trying to improve stuff. Yep. There is. Like here, I can. Speaking of improving, I did leave this light, but I can go darker in here. There's darker shadows and darker the neck right in here. I can keep working on this all night. But let me see. Speaking of changes, let me go over to the meetup for Tuesday. I can talk about that, those changes that are coming. All right, here we go. Let's see, Tuesdays.
Can I share?
Sure. Yeah. Let me spotlight you. Where are you? There you are. I see you. All right. There you go. There you go. Nice.
But
Yeah.
notice how I drew her at an angle. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that, and that's probably not a good idea.
No, that's cool though. That's really good.
It looks better in real life than it does here. And I'm not sure about the water drops either.
No, that's good. They're good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Awesome. All right. All righty. Good, good, good. Oh yeah, let's go over here. All right. On Tuesday's class events. There we go. Yeah, I kind of slightly changing it because I really want to push the purpose. It's the event is in flux, it says, because it is, but I have here, look at revisions of mission and purpose. So here's my revision of the mission and purpose. Learning drawing to expand our imaginations and capture ideas as we boldly leave the age of information and enter the age of the mind, ideas, imagination, and AI.
Am I supposed to be seeing something? I'm not seeing
No,
anything.
I'm just reading it. I'm just reading it. I can
Oh,
share.
okay, because I'm seeing Pearl.
Oh yeah, because I have her spotlighted. There you go. There we go. All right. Yeah, no, I'm reading off our thing here. This thing in particular. In this course, we practice process and struggle through failure and mistakes to success. This month, we're going to focus on portraits. We're still going to continue with portraits on Tuesdays. And in February and March, we'll be focused on figure drawing. I believe so. So in February, actually, we are in February. It meant March and April. No, for this month, I got to change that. For the rest of February, we'll continue doing portraits because it really is the practice. We definitely practice. That's how you're going to improve, because we just kind of just touching the surface, and the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. So more portraits this month, and then March and April we'll be doing the figure drawing. So that's what we'll be doing, and we'll continue on purpose and revising our mission and purpose, but definitely learning to draw and expand our imaginations and capture ideas and really the process. I really want to go with process here, and brainstorming and having ideas and imagination and boldly going, because it's that's the thing. It's a lot of people are afraid to create. They're afraid to make mistakes. But that's where the learning is, and that's, if you have a purpose, boom, you'll learn, like, oh, okay, wait a minute, I want it like this. You have an idea, and we chase that. All right, so hopefully we can get that whole thing going, and somebody can share an idea, stepping outside your comfort zone, and say, hey, all right, cool, let's go with that. Or, oh, we have more ideas. All right, now we got to choose. Right, so okay. So good. And that's how creativity happens. Actually, creativity just, all of a sudden you get a spark, and it's like, whoa, this is it. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm working on, and you go for it. All right. I think with that said, we're down to 9 people. Will there be any time for landscapes? Good question. Yes, there'll be time for landscapes. We can do it on Thursdays. Thursdays we can do landscapes during this hour. Right now we did portraits. So definitely landscapes on Thursdays. Thursday during the second hour, third hour. We've done landscapes before. We can continue doing landscapes on this Thursdays. We do 2 nights a week for free. So yeah. So but portraits and figure drawing and anatomy are more important. No, it's all important. It really is. I mean, Bob Ross never did any figure drawing, or he probably sure he did, but not as a class. He decided somewhere to say, okay, I'm just going to do pretty little clouds, pretty little happy little clouds, trees and bees and who knows what. All right. I'll continue on this a little bit. I think I'm sharing my screen, stop screen. Yeah. can probably, there's probably more stuff I know there's more stuff I can do to this. Whew. Oh, 9:39. Let's see. Get some more darks in here. Push it a little bit more. Bringing up our darks. Yeah, building it up. Right here, that cheekbone. Building it up. Man,
I
once you
think I'm
have.
gonna go, it's 12:43 a.m. here.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay,
Dedicated.
thanks. Good night, everybody.
Hardcore hero.
Bye.
Good night, Pearl.
Bye, thanks.
All right, bye-bye. Yeah, out in New York. Wow. Yeah, I should call it a night myself. That's why we have our on Tuesdays. We start earlier. Yeah. And sometimes your materials won't behave. Like right now, this pencil's behaving really nicely. I'm like, oh yeah, this paper's behaving really nicely. And then you got to remember, okay, this paper and this material. Or sometimes even you'll get a little burr. I hate when I get burrs in my pencil. And it's like, you have to kind of like work those burrs out. Let's build some more of that shadow in here on the side. A little more down there, a little more shade. And yeah, all right, I can go darker with the hair as well. That's not too bad. I'll bring back any fun tips and about landscape painting. Oh, great. Awesome. Yeah, that's what it's another thing too. Sharing. It's learning and sharing and calling it a night. Thank you. Anybody else comments? How far is Vegas from me? Ooh, from me or from who? From me, Vegas is like 4 hours. 4 hours from me. 4 hours.
Oh, no, I meant from Leanna, who's going there.
Oh, she's going. For your information, I signed up for a 3-day workshop to learn plein air painting. Oh yeah, southeast of Las Vegas. Oh, she is. Oh, awesome. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we can do all right. Awesome. Yeah, bring back some tips. Oh, I'm looking back and forth and I can see, I don't know if it's because I'm always drawing at an angle. I gotta start drawing a little bit more like this. How interesting. Yeah, I see my paper like that. Is that a little closer to, I'm looking back and forth. Yeah, it's all right.
Eladia, you want to put that back up a minute again and a teeny
Yeah.
bit higher?
What, my drawing?
Yes, your drawing. That
Oh,
right there.
All right.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Yeah. So I can always keep working on this.
I think you did good.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, Kelly. You did all right. All right. All right. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna probably call it a night. Right about now. It is 9:42. Oh, we're doing a super one today. All right. Good night. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.